The broadcast is live.
Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Podcast The Storm, where socially awkward outcasts, crazy weirdos, and all around nerds convene to talk and debate all things pop culture. With me, as always, is my co-host, the nerdy occultist, aka the Authenticator, Dalton L. Mortimer.
Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, I am back from Mostly Dead. And yes, Snap probably did help a little bit with that, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm back. I'm fine. I'm well, okay, mostly fine. I'm worse for wear. I picked up another medication on the trip, but whatever.
And our second co-host, the primordial source of evil in comics, Corrupt.
This
Hello?
should be
Yeah, okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, engage with the sound, otherwise we're getting the cricket noise.
Okay, what is it my turn to go? Because like I had two video audios going by accident, and I kept hearing like echoes and stuff like that, so I had to mute.
I was introducing you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
I'm sorry.
that was your cue. That's why Brainstorm and I were sitting here very
Oh,
confused for half a second. It was
oh,
like, what?
I'm sorry because I had a video playing in the background that was the stream, and I have no idea why. Can I get a do over?
Sure. Our second
Pitch it
co-host,
again.
the primordial source of evil in comics, Corrupt.
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Hello.
And I am your host last time, Lord Wannabe, the brainstormer of pop culture. Hello, Dragon Turtle. He's asking about you, Don, like mostly dead. What happened?
I got a horrible infection in my area between my knee and my shin, and my mom caught it, thought it might be MRSA, so she gave me some antibiotic. The antibiotic, I think, punctured the bubble around, or was keeping the infection in just that area around my shin and my knee. And then the last 3 days have been my body processing through that entire infection, through all of it, which meant not being able to move, barely being able to move, moving slowly, everything aching, everything miserable, wanting to feel or thinking you're going to throw up every 5 minutes, not having any appetite, but needing to take the antibiotic to cure it with food. One of the greatest ironies in the history of the universe, especially because it was freaking horse pill. And just in general, like I was barely on this side of the freaking veil for 3 days. I am doing significantly better now. I am still not at 100, but I am significantly closer to positive integers, whereas I was literally running against time on previous days.
Oh Jesus, I'm sorry about that, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, I guess since we did ask this before stream, how was everyone's Christmas and week so far, and also New Year's, I suppose.
Christmas was good, and that was the one silver lining. Was it was like 2 days after Christmas that this all went down. So like, Christmas was still Christmas, and Christmas was as sacred as ever it should be. But like, you know, like the 2 days afterwards, when I would normally be going through all my new things and getting acquainted with all my new things, were instead spent in various degrees of, oh my god, why can't I just die uncomfortable and sleep?
My Christmas was like another day that ended in Y. Like nothing happened really.
Oh,
Pretty much. Not like nothing happened. I didn't go anywhere or do anything.
am I gonna have to forcibly beat the Christmas cheer on View too? I'll do it, goddamn me.
Like there was like I don't even think I think the most I did was talk to my sister, and that's about it. That's all I did was just talk to her.
My brothers are like that, and it is so
Depressing. It is
fucking annoying. It even got to the point where when I ask them what they want for Christmas, they will respond unironically, "I don't know," for like 3 weeks, and then I'll finally get an answer out of them, and it'll be like a jokey, sarcastic answer. Like my youngest brother asked me for hookers, blow, and steroids for Christmas.
That's hilarious.
and so, okay. No, the hilarious part is how I actually rectified this situation by actually playing within the parameters he dealt me. Because what I got him to account for that was I got him these muscle pill things I found, these supplements that I found. I got him this powdered bubble gum that I found and a metal straw to snort it with. And I got him a Playboy magazine, which I wrapped in a shirt that said hookers and blow.
Here's my question: how did you even find a Playboy magazine? I guess you can order them online.
I asked my uncle to go to the like porn shop.
There's a porn shop?
You forget he lives like 20 years in the past.
Yeah, we still live in the age where you could still find a good skin mag occasionally.
I can't even. I can relate because I live in an area where, like, okay, so when cable was when I'm gonna reveal my age, but like we're 10 years behind like everything. So when new shit comes out, like it's just like we get it like 10 years after everybody else already has. It sucks. It sucks living in the middle of nowhere.
I will say this, mainly because I've seen it in passing when I had my job like a few years back. We'd be driving home. Out of the corner of my eye, like one of those sex shops.
Oh, I've seen one of those.
Yeah. Never gone in there though, mainly because I don't think I would have the money to buy anything or have a reason to go there. I guess.
Well, okay, I was about to say we're getting our reasons cart before the horse here. I think the main reason is because you wouldn't have a reason to go in, but
yeah.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Brainstormer wants to get lucky.
I mean, maybe, but if he wants to get lucky with the kind of woman he wants, he needs to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get knee pads first.
You guys are weird.
You keep mentioning sparring. Knee pads are necessary, like safety guards when you're sparring. If you want a Karen Murphy or a Sigmund Guard or a Wonder Woman, then you need to get used to the dojo lifestyle.
Yeah, my Christmas was uneventful. By that I mean like it was like none. Basically, any Christmas movie you have ever seen, none of that happened.
I think my mom was sick partially also through Christmas, and it didn't make her the happiest while she was doing it, and that part was a little bit annoying. But I had enough Christmas spirit for all three of my family members, so they can be as Scroogey as they like, but I'm still gonna make the best of it, man.
Although, uh, although I did help make Christmas dinner, like most of it, best I could. So
Yeah, we had prime rib for Christmas dinner.
we had ham, deviled eggs, mashed potatoes,
We also, my brother made deviled eggs, even though like he is the only member of the family who likes them.
mac and cheese, the shell version. You know,
Hmm. But yeah, we had prime rib.
Is-
It was tasty. I would have eaten like 3 more of it, but I had to sleep because I was not feeling well.
wait, is corrupt?
I think he had to reboot his computer or something.
Oh, okay. Hey, hello.
Hello, corrupt.
Can anyone hear him? Because I can't.
I can't hear him. Testing, testing one.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
now yes.
Okay, so my headset, the cord, my headset disconnected,
Ah,
so I had to reconnect that.
I've had that happen. I mean, not. I mainly just speak through my computer now.
I might have to do that actually, because that sounds like a much better idea than using my headset.
Yeah.
Yeah, headsets always struck me as being more trouble than they were worth,
I mean,
ultimately.
like when we first started this, I used to wear it, but it just became a pain. Mainly, I don't know. Like, also the pair I still have don't work anymore for some reason. I tried plugging it in and using it, but nothing.
Something to note for next Christmas, I suppose.
No, I'm good. I don't really need them.
Okay.
Yeah. Um.
Which, by the way, your third gift will probably be there day after tomorrow.
Right. So actually, a little fun thing for people doing this. So Dawn decided to buy me 3 gifts this year, and I also bought him one, which he got, I believe, yesterday.
Yes, and we will get into the irony of that story too, which I felt so bad about.
Right. But so far I've gotten books, and I assume relatively the same.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Again, don't tell me. I want the surprise. But so far I've gotten 2 books. One is, I want to say, an omnibus, but I don't feel like that's right.
I think it's an omnibus of all of the Jim Barker Crow.
Jim Barr, not Barker.
Or yeah, Jim Barr Crow.
Yeah. Okay.
The Crow has had other writers, but I think that's all of Jim Barr's or Jim O'Barr's Crow.
Right. So he's gotten me that, and also yesterday I got in the mail a book called Superman in Philosophy. What would the Man of Steel do?
That's actually a good idea, Dalton. Good job.
Yeah, and again, if any of you, if anyone has been here for a while, like watched this show, you all know I'm a big Superman fan.
See, this is what I do when I'm gift giving. I basically treat it like math. I look at all the variables of all the things I know about a person, and I'm like, how many of these things can I get with a single? How many points can I score with a single thing? And how much overlap can there be between all of these things? And if I can't get it with a single thing, how much synchronicity between multiple things is it going to take for me to get the wow factor I need? That's basically how I do. That's basically how I do gift giving. How much do I know about you versus how many points within that knowledge can I score with one object?
Right, and like I said, I was actually able to get Dalton something. There's actually a couple fun stories in that Dalton is not aware of. Well, one, it was actually incredibly hard for me to get his address down right because apparently his phone kept auto-correcting it as he sent it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it did that. Like it's Kawaneski, which is it's an Iroquois Native American word, I do believe, and that's why it's spelled fucktardedly.
Where is Kawaneski?
Kawaneski Street is in Lawrenceville, PA.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, so that took me a while to get right. Also, it was I'm not gonna lie, it is somewhat hard to figure out a gift for you because there were actually a few things I had lined up. One was a very joke gift because since I told Dalton this.
He told me this, and if he had gotten me this, I would have blown up things.
I originally thought about sending him a chew toy fake sandwich.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Right, and again, anyone who knows this, Dalton doesn't like sandwiches.
It's so bizarre. He's like an alien.
Thing I know about.
We now have progressed into the Dalton's odd food preferences portion of the live stream. Pull up the chair for 20 minutes more, folks.
All right. Also, Chrono, you're correct. No one got me anything. Only sadness. That's all I have in my life, Chrono. That is what drives me. There we go.
My only problem is that I don't have enough financial resources to get everyone things that I would like to get. I made a special exception for Brainstormer because Brainstormer needs to be taught how to live a little, and who better to do that than his best friends? So there.
And to be completely fair, I was only getting Dalton a gift because he got me a gift last year. That's kind of payback. Also, I feel like any gifts I would try to give you, like I'd have to go to some weird places to get you a gift.
No, my take is like, even though I have like a reputation for being like crazy or whatever,
Slaneshian.
I have fairly normal taste. Like I have like the most mild fucking taste. I like anime, games, and comics. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but the problem is within those sets, you go for the savage dragons and the tentacle hentai.
So my anime tastes are fairly normal. My comic book tastes are fairly ridiculous, though. I do like Savage Dragon. That shit is so awful.
I still like it. It's a porn comic. Let's be straight up with it. It's a porn comic.
It really is. It really is a straight porn comic. It's awful, but it's just pure porn. Like there's like character. So okay, Brainstormer. They had a COVID issue, right? And all of like this weird Canadian Justice League were in the same house. We're in like the same like house mansion thing together. And then there was this naked like Spider Woman who had like her vagina hanging out, and they were talking about fucking. It was like the weirdest fucking thing. Like holy shit!
Sorry, I think I just blocked out what you just said.
Don't say it again, please, for the love of every god except she who thirsts.
Besides that, I also was given a $100 card for my comic shop, which I went there and grabbed some stuff. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any of the issues I wanted to get of a series I'm already reading because I don't have them currently. That sucks. But I did grab some other stuff. I did grab the series that Corrupted recommended me a while back.
Vanish.
Which what was the pitch you gave for it?
It's like it's weird because it's like if the boys met like Spawn and Harry Potter. Like it's the weirdest fucking comic.
Right.
Like the wizard. So superheroes are really just wizards from some alternate from like another dimension where all the magic users live, and they're basically just exiles.
Hmm.
And so one day, 9/11, like the wizards tried to stop that, but then they were like, oh, it wouldn't really matter because people are savages and would just kill each other anyway. Like that's basically it. That's the takeaway from that.
Okay.
Like people are just evil and will just kill each other anyway, so who cares? Like it's the most insane fucking comic.
Now, part of me is a bit disappointed in myself that I spent money to buy that, but I will still read it.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I think it depends on how much of nihilism or cynicism it has. To be fair.
It does have some cynicism, but I think you'll enjoy
He
it.
doesn't. He really doesn't like The Boys, and I happen to agree with him because everything realistic must be bad, and everything not realistic must be
Stupid.
stupid. Is just it's just done. Like
Also,
no further meaning can be extracted from this artistically. Can we just move on from this?
right. And sorry.
Oh no, I didn't. It's funny because I didn't even really think I think you'd be interested in Vanished.
Well, you recommended it, and I wanted to see if I would at least be. I got the first 3 issues that were out, so.
All right. Like, how much did you pay for them?
Combined with everything, it was about $60.
You paid $6. I'll pay you back for that. Fuck that.
No. I mean, like with not just like that and the other stuff I bought like together.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I think if it's regular, they're like regular.
Individually, they were probably each like $5, so it ended up being 15.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm really interested in reading is the Stan Lee Just Imagine book 1 thing I have. It's like, because I think that's really cool, and I've seen a lot of videos talking about that specific universe, and I honestly kind of want to see someone try to adapt that in some form. Probably not live action, but
I'm sort of surprised Marvel hasn't tried to do it already.
No, actually, DC holds the rights to it. I think.
Oh well, that's probably right then. Well, then it's a race between the two of them to see who gets to piss all over the other one first. Whether DC gets to do the Just Imagine version, or whether Marvel makes a Squadron Supreme that's a better Justice League than Justice League was.
Right.
Like, I gotta be honest with you. Like, I gotta be honest with you, Brainstormer. I think you'd like the story that I'm working on because it does have like sincerity in its narratives. It's not just like, let's subvert everything. Everything that's fantastic is stupid and dumb.
Right. See, I'm not. Honestly, I try to do subversion a lot when I write stories.
Maybe too much, and that's why I keep him on a leash with regards to it.
Well, obviously to define the term for myself, subversion is more so I take the tropes and kind of twist them in a way that someone hasn't really thought of before.
Oh,
a different angle.
All right. So, no, I'm referring to the trend now of like, let's take something like Superman and make him like a fascist dictator because
obviously he already is, derp.
Right.
Exactly. Or I can't relate.
I hate that type of subversion.
Like, I can't relate to somebody who isn't as cynical and nihilistic as me, so they must be evil and dumb.
Yeah.
Well, or naive, or any number of other things.
So, like, Dalton is at least nice about it. He says naive, whereas these people are like, no, these people are evil because, like, how can you possibly believe in anything if you aren't a tyrant?
Well, I think naive is where they start, and then they extrapolate it out. from there. Usually when they make actual arguments and articles about it, that's how the progression goes. Is they start with, well, obviously he's naive and overly optimistic, and therefore he gets overly attached to the things mommy and daddy Kent taught him, and therefore he gets stuck in his traditionalist ways, and therefore fascist.
I will say there is a version that I've seen, like an abridged universe version of Superman, where they made him a, what was it? I mentioned this before on stream, like a while back. Creationist.
Oh God.
The creationist, really?
It's funny. Like I don't think I'm explaining that well, but like on YouTube, there's an abridged DC Universe series. Like just type in DC abridged universe, and yeah, it's like just the Superman.
That's like I think it was Batman number 131 that was like the Bat atheism issue. And I'm sitting there like, bitch, you have met gods from various different pantheons. This is not a thing for you.
Well, to be fair, they do make him kind of dumb redneck as well a little bit. So
I mean, okay, sure, but
the abridged DC.
They made Superman a dumb redneck, really?
A bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's complicated. Like he's still. It's been a while since I've watched it, but and I don't think I'm explaining it well.
Flanders, basically.
Oh my God! It's like they think everyone who's from like the South is fucking stupid. I hate Northerners.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Clark Kent does come from like the most, house on the prairie, farm town sort of part of Kansas that someone can come. No, I know, but what I'm saying is I can at least squint and kind of see where they're pulling from, at least in this case, whereas in other cases I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
I mean, to be fair, it's funny. Like it is still a funny thing.
On a less subversive, less annoying note, Brainstormer and I are writing a comic.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we have several ideas brewing, but we are writing at the moment. Our main efforts are for one comic book universe, which is called the Lion Orchid universe, and it started kind of as a parody of the MCU, and also sort of what we would have done post Endgame. And it sort of became its own thing because we sort of ended up mixing in secret societies, cryptozoology, conspiracy theories, creepypastas, urban legends, monsters, magic, mythology, just all of it all together, and kind of seeing where things land. Like our version of the okay. To be fair, I should fully explain this. In our universe, there are two versions of the Jersey Devil. There is one who is an ancient Native American land spirit that was worshipped as a god by a tribe called the Lenni Lenape, and then there is his son, who is the son of Mother Leeds, as per the other origin for the Jersey Devil.
Any Wendigo or Skinwalkers in your universe?
There is. In fact, that's how Brainstormer's self-insert character and my self-insert character met each other. If it's fighting a Wendigo, that was the whole.
I feel like we should clarify the self-insert. We have created characters that are based off us, effectively. But
I mean, when I say self-insert, I mean that in the most literal and non-Mary Sue-ish or Gary Sue-ish way possible. As in, we took ourselves and our various interests, we transplanted them into this universe, we scaled them up accordingly to the setting, and then we left them alone. We didn't give ourselves god powers.
All right, that sounds reasonable.
To be fair, I kind of have viewed the character that is based off me kind of very different from me in certain circumstances. in aspects.
Yeah, but you're always down on yourself anyway. So
No, I'm not saying that as like a bad thing. I'm just saying like I think this character is somewhat more is a character in its own right than just a copy of me.
uh-huh. He said, knowing the Brainstormer doesn't like giving himself credit for shit.
Well, Dalton does have a point. Oh my God, Gotham Knights.
I've told you 1,000 times from Sunday, my dude. You have the backstory of the Punisher and the freaking moral compass of a Superman or a Captain America. This is you.
It's weird because Brainstormer and I probably grew up in like similar areas. It's like, okay, so sometimes, so we hear firecrackers so I have to tell people like, yeah, we shoot off firecrackers all year round around here because I can't tell them that, oh, those things you heard were gunshots and somebody like Three Door Sound is probably dead. Like fucking like that shit is so awkward when
Right.
people hear like, what is that sound? Oh, those are just gunfire. Like, it's fine. I just need to move away from the window.
Most of the time when those noises happen around here, it's literally someone using the empty softball field next to my house for fireworks for no good goddamn reason. Or sometimes it is actually gunfire, but it's during hunting season and everyone's fucking doing it. So, whatever.
You said Gotham Knights.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which are you talking about? The game or the?
All right, because the show is still coming out. Is the show still coming out, or was that canceled?
No idea. I honestly wish you were here when we covered it.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, back to something positive, which is the Lionheart universe, because I want to.
Oh, okay. I'll answer why I said Gotham Knights. So I had Steam open and I realized the Gotham Knights was apparently on sale for $30, and I'm thinking about buying it for like a meme stream. But I feel like, Gotham Knights is so terrible. I feel like I'd be the only one playing by myself, and that kind of makes me sad.
I've not heard good. Actually, there is. Speaking of like both Gotham Knights, I actually pre-wrote the first season.
He's already fixed it before the shows even come out. This is how good he's getting at this, folks, and or how bad the other people are getting.
But me being me, it has kind of spiraled into me creating my own DC CW universe.
With a little bit of occasional poking and prodding from yours truly.
Yeah.
Because I can't not do it.
And I was going to pose this question later when I had actually done some of it, like more done. Like the actual CW universe thing.
Yeah.
But if anyone is willing or wants me to, I can actually rewrite the video game as well. If anyone wants to, because I have heard like the story itself is kind of bare bones and stuff.
So there are 8 bosses. 4 of those there are 8 bosses. 6 of them are just recurring bosses. What I mean by that is like you have 4 bosses, right? And then you fight 4 of those bosses again. So it's literally just 8 boss fights, and they're all basically the same character. I think there's only 2 villains that are that you don't fight, and that's Talia al Ghul, and I forgot who else.
Court of Owls?
Court of Owls. I think it is Court of Owls, yes.
Well, no, you fight the Talons, if I remember correctly. So
you do. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I would actually like that because I remember watching a video that's of someone talking about Gotham Knights. I don't know if anyone knows this guy, High Top Films.
I've heard of him.
He's not a bad video essayist. I actually really enjoy his stuff.
Okay, so you fight Basher, Blazer, Basher and Blazer, Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, Mecha Freeze, and Clayface.
Wait, Mecha Freeze? Oh wait,
Yes.
the Batman Beyond from when he comes back. The Mindy.
Also, you fight Bruce Wayne in the Lazarus Pit, and then you fight Talia al Ghul.
Okay. How did High Top Drums say it? The story, the characters. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And I'm sorry. This is just a tangent here, just because it's something interesting, and we will get to the trailers. That's the first thing we're doing this week to catch up.
Yeah, because we actually do have a plot this week. We're not just bullshitting.
Yeah.
Even though this entire live stream so far has been nothing but bullshitting. Oh god.
How to save the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let me see.
But
I mean, give Brainstorm and I a couple of years, and then buy a copy of the Lionheart Universe near you. So there's that. But apart from that, ditch the multiverse entirely and focus on the supernatural would be my advice to you.
Black Adam, a chaotic inspiration.
Yeah, he's not a bad video essays. There are some opinions I don't really agree with, but creative differences, I suppose. But yeah, the story itself is supposed to be like very bare bones, and it doesn't really work with the characters. Like, there are no missions tailored specifically for specific characters. It's interchangeable, which I could somewhat understand from those working behind the scenes on the game. But it's just
But when you're making a show, you actually have to make characters three-dimensional enough that people give a fuck about them.
It's a video game.
Oh, in any fucking case.
Right.
Back on some kind of logical. We were on Lionhearted, but I guess that ship has sailed, so we will talk about Lionhearted again another time, because we actually have to talk about trailers at some point.
Right. I'll be honest, we forgot to find ones. So I picked the ones I think would generate the most talking points.
There were a bunch that were in the actual suggestion box thing.
I did not see them.
Oh dear, 2023 is off to a fantastic start already, folks.
Oh, Rise of the Beast. The thing about this trailer is that I really like the trailer, but the director comments were so fucking cringe. This is a story about black and brown people. Oh, boy.
Oh god. No.
Wait, what?
Did someone really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Transformers: Rise of the Beast. We'll get into that, I guess, but yeah.
Address the thing first, and then let's actually.
Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
Director.
I have. Actually, you know what? Put that in the DM, and we'll cover that next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Add it to, or not next week, but the week after, because next week is DC shenanigans.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see. It'll be about black and brown people. Here we go. Story will be about black and Latino culture, plus why Biggie Smalls' song was chosen. Fucking awful. I
hate this now. I didn't hate this. I had vaguely positive things to say about this, and now
it's about black and brown voices. No whites allowed.
Okay.
It's like that meme from South Park. I had vaguely positive feelings, and they're gone.
Okay, so Banana.
Yes, Banana. Robo Banana.
Banana. Robot Banana, yes. It kind of froze for me.
No, yeah, I'm positive.
Oh,
20-second rule. There's not enough detail for me to say anything about what's going on now.
Right.
let me see. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shoot. I like the black thing right there. I've seen this commercial, but I at first it's interesting because at first I didn't really care when I first heard the intro. I'm like, wow, this is so incredibly generic. And it wasn't until the Transformers started popping up and what they actually look like, and not like Michael Bay creations, that I was just like, oh,
Yeah, it was.
actually look good.
It's kind of seeming to try and meet in the middle between the Michael Bay ones and the Bumblebee designs. It seems.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know there are some people who like who like the Michael Bay designs, but I'm just like, that was Michael Bay. Can we move on from
Yeah,
his
the only
design?
one he was good at designing was Optimus, and that's only because if he had misdesigned Optimus, everyone would have literally kicked him to death.
Well, Michael Bay is still a producer on this.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, god damn it!
Oh, that's okay. That's why it has to have his designs. All right.
God damn it!
I mean,
Go away, Michael Bay. You are the less talented James Cameron.
he's not.
And go away, James Cameron. You are Michael Bay with a brain, and no one wants you.
Well, he's not directing it, but.
Well, I'm sure he wants his mark on the movie since he was the one who brought the live Transformers.
Yeah, he never is involved with anything unless you can tell he's there somehow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because he was only a producer on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 1, and that was caked in his Michael Bayism.
Anyway, John.
Yeah.
Transform Nana.
No.
Banana Bot.
There we go. That'll do.
Stand down. I'm not the one to fear, Prime. There is a darkness coming.
Ew.
So, is it the same voice actors from Beast Wars that are voicing these guys? Because it doesn't technically.
It doesn't sound like him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like.
I think the only voice actor they keep is Frank Welker, because again, if they didn't, someone would find Michael Bay and fuck him to death.
Like, he's such an iconic Optimus. That's why I think they kept him.
You mean Peter Walker?
Or yeah, Peter Welker.
Yeah, you're thinking of the guy who voices Megatron. I'm talking about the
guy who voices Optimus.
Optimus.
Oh, Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
And I think it's a different guy.
These aren't animal versions of the characters. They made the Beast Bots separate characters in this, just like they did the Dinobots in the previous one.
No, I know, but I'm just wondering if they still brought the original.
They wouldn't. You are about to be reminded just why I hate Michael Bay so much.
It's Ron Perlman.
I mean, I don't hate Ron Perlman, but I hate Michael Bay.
I'll be honest, it sounded like Keith David.
Let me see.
I didn't hear him, but I don't know.
Let me see.
Well, they both have that kind of same lower registry. So
you're very close to a they all sound the same right now, my friend.
I mean, well, they use the Ebonics. Why not? You know.
Quote mine for Hitler and Germany.
Okay, if you want to quote, all right.
Don't. No, that
What?
my point was to warn everyone that these were things that were gonna get quote mined to hell,
I'm just
and that we would all be canceled, and
okay.
that
Okay. Can I at least say one thing? Can I say what? I'm not. Can I at least ask one thing? Okay.
I'm going to regret this, but okay.
Why, why of all things did they make Namor Hispanic and make him underwater and cross borders illegally? Come on, that's a joke in and of itself.
Namor doesn't give a fuck about borders, no matter what.
I'm just saying. It's just come on. It's right there. It's
He doesn't
right fucking there.
Okay, but he doesn't. It's a part of his actual character that he doesn't respect man's world's boundaries.
I'm not talking about Namor. I'm talking about Disney. It's right there. What is he? He's wet. He's Hispanic. He crosses borders illegally. What is it?
I know what you're trying to pull, but it's in the character, not in the swap.
What do they call that? The adult. What do they call them? Come on.
We're not doing that. I'm not getting quote mined for Hitler in Germany.
I'm sure someone in the audience knows the answer to that.
I just got sick, and you people are like, let's make him say stupid shit.
Right.
Come on.
I also want to say this, coming at it from it's gonna sound pretentious, but someone who has worked on film. Granted, I'm not the greatest, mainly with the stuff I had at hand. When I was learning how to make film and stuff. The lighting's a bit weird to me.
For
most, it never feels dynamic or.
Bumblebee did, but nobody fucking saw it because they were all so sick of the Michael Bay ones that they were just willing to let Bumblebee die without even looking at it.
Wait, what doesn't feel dynamic for you?
The color palette. I think.
The color palette.
No, the lighting. I was gonna say the lighting.
Oh, the lighting. I think it's to keep in style with the precedent that Michael Bay set, didn't it?
Well, even comparing it to the other Bay former movies, this lighting just feels very flat, almost like the MCU kind of.
How is your video resolution there, Brainstormer? Because I didn't find that to be a problem when I watched this on my own phone.
I mean, I didn't have an issue. I kind of get what Brainstormer means in that it does feel a bit flat. I watched the trailer in high def, but I do kind of get where Brainstormer's coming from. But I attributed that to just kind of how the MCU sort of set a particular precedent for how these types of movies look. I mean, look at DC. Look at DC films. They all.
But I mean, for as much as you can whine that Marvel set a precedent, its most iconic.
I'm not whining. I'm just.
No. I didn't say. When I said you, I didn't mean you. I meant you in the general people who complain about this sense, for there are a fuck ton of them. I will rephrase. For as much as people complain about the Marvel sets a precedent, its most iconic examples are all examples of when it is the most colorful. Guardians 1 and 2, Thor Ragnarok, even Thor Love and Thunder, even though it went too far in the other direction, but that's not here. My point is that if Marvel's precedent was truly the one they were following, and you would think they would want to follow the most successful and distinct and unique ones, therefore, there should be more color. And in any case, there should be more fucking color and vibrancy.
Right, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. What I meant, what stood out to me more than even the colors was the shadows and stuff and kind of lack thereof, which kind of adds more
it looks less like a vehicle and more like it was just sort of it looks too CGI in my opinion. I don't know if that's Brainstormer's thing, but it just looks too and it doesn't look like it blends into the world very well.
I think what he's getting at is something that he and I have both noticed in many cases, which is yet another case of someone could have easily taken the extra 5 minutes and added a filter to this to make it pop more. They did
Yes.
not.
Wait, what did you say, Brainstormer? You said what?
No, I was agreeing with you, Corrupt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. Just doesn't blend that well into the world. I mean, the design looks nice though. Like,
And again, it's a case of if you had taken the extra like literal switch of the camera to adjust the fucking color saturation, shadows, etc., this could have been resolved. Like I can do this shit on my phone with pictures, and I know people on Premiere can do it with video clips.
yeah,
So
I can do that now actually.
So someone somewhere, please fucking remind Hollywood that these computers that they spend billions of fuck off monies on, a lot of their automatic settings will do like half the work for you.
Right. Anyway, shall we?
Yeah.
Like the shit they come with factory standard, if you tweak them slightly, will do half the work for you.
Banana.
Banana bun.
It was all a dream. Lord, I'm not driving. And if you don't know, grab your nose.
It was all a
The
dream.
music's kind of throwing me off.
It was all a dream. I have no idea what the hell that has to do with anything.
That is my least favorite trope in. The only trope I hate more than the "it was all a dream" trope is the "you were in a mental institution the whole time" trope. I hate both of those tropes. Stop invalidating the lives of your characters and the time and energy of your fucking audiences.
That's kind of not what we're talking about.
We're talking about the music.
No, I know, but since somebody brought up the "it was all a dream" thing, I just wanted to say for the 1000th time, stop with the "it's all a dream" and stop with the "you were in the institution the whole time" thing, please.
That is kind of a thing that the everything is a dream is kind of an issue, isn't it? Like that is kind of a crutch.
And this fantastical world you thought you lived in was all in your head, and you've been in a mental institution is like the adult form of that. Like Buffy did it. I think even Batman did it at one point. Magicians did it. I'm just sick of it. Things exist and are not a matter for perception sometimes. Fuck off.
The Magicians, God, that was
it
was
a great show, but it had that one episode that I skip every time I rewatch it.
Like I refuse to watch more of the Magicians because like the fucking trickster Fox dude who's like really fucking like malicious and evil.
The rape god?
The rape god, he becomes like a fucking male feminist or something, and like ha ha ha, that is funny, but like it's just the feminism.
No. I thought that was perfect. That was in my head. That was basic. Oh, she's still an evil god then.
That's funny. Okay, that's funny. Now that you put it that way, that is pretty funny.
Like I knew what they were trying to do, and I knew what they were also kind of lampshading. So it was like, okay, yeah, he's still an evil god then. That makes perfect sense.
Pretty funny.
A fox does not street. A fox may change its fur, but never its character.
Back to the music, that's really the only thing that's kind of putting me off on this trailer.
It doesn't really work with the rest of the tone of what they're going for, I don't think.
Not really. It just feels random.
Yeah, it's just like we need a jaunty, like quasi-edgy sounding thing to put here, so here, generic song number 14752.
Yeah, the thing that always kind of bugs me is like, for these kind of things, they always put like rap music or something, and none against rap music, obviously. Granted, I prefer like that good rap music.
But it has to actually fit.
That's a thing, you bastard.
It needs to actually like I wouldn't like you could probably put like a good rap song in here, but this particular song is just not great. It doesn't fit the pace of what's happening. It just feels random.
Wouldn't it make more sense to have a song about animals or a song about transformation in here? Because it's Transformers Beast Wars, so you could either go since the Beast are the new gimmick, you could be like Unleash the Beast. That would be at least not retarded.
Pretty much, yeah.
Although apparently this is set in the 1990s, so it is maybe supposed to be a sequel to the
Bumblebee.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's a softcore sequel because people were so sick of Michael Bay, they just would not see Bumblebee even to watch the trailer. And that's sad because it's literally the only good one, apart from maybe the first one.
You know what's weird? The weirdest thing I find about the Bayformers movies, especially like the ones where they introduced the ones with Mark Wahlberg, they have interesting concepts.
Like why?
Well, they were introducing. They were technically introducing the Quintessons in.
Oh, the last night when they introduced
No,
Quintessa.
No. The Age of Extinction, the beginning
I
of
thought
it.
Quintessa was a Quintesson.
I have no idea what the fuck they were doing with that.
I'm sorry.
Let's not even remember last night because they did the stupid Clark's Law thing, and if we go on about that again, I will nuke this planet.
Okay, let me just at least see if Quintessa's or Quintesson, because I'm confused. No, she's wait. Okay, so it's unknown if she's a Quintesson. She's an ally of the Decepticons, but it's not known if she's a Quintesson.
Yeah, God, those movies. I mean, like they're bad, but the last night I found interesting, namely similar thing they brought up in like the first trilogy, which was how Transformers kind of have interacted with Earth.
The ancient alien thing.
Not to that stupid extent, mind you. I did like the idea of the Knights of Cybertron interacting with the Knights of Camelot.
How about I thought you were gonna say. For some reason I thought you were going to bring up the Fallen.
Again, one of my least favorite tropes in all of the world are okay. I have another two least favorite tropes in all of the world. One of them is Clark's Law, and another is the fucking ancient alien thing. So you can imagine my world-rending evil when it comes to those movies that do both.
Right. Okay. So the thing I thought was cool about the last night, the only cool thing, was really the flashback scenes of the Knights in Camelot, like the Knights of Cybertron in Camelot. And the idea I think would have worked better is that they influenced each other. Both cultures influenced each other.
Yeah.
That would have worked okay, or better at least.
And also the fact that Transformers also have magic as well. If you actually look into the lore, they actually have mystical things.
And this is the freaking problem with the whole Clark's Law thing. You're acting as though the people who practice magic don't know what they're practicing, and you're acting as though science is the one true God.
But
I do like this. I have to admit, I do like the science.
Oh no. Well, the body snatchers got to corrupt. Time to get the gun.
I do like the science and the maths and everything that comes with that.
Okay, somebody get the gun. The body snatchers is officially rotted corrupt from the
What
inside out.
what's really depressing about the whole science thing? I know this is a side tangent to what Brainstorm was saying, but like people treat now there's this now we can't have female character. What's up? Brainstormer, what did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, all right. I heard an echo. Now we can't have female characters that are into other things. They all have to be like obsessed with science and math and shit.
And they can
Like,
never enjoy like girl things or
exactly.
feminine things like ever.
Exactly. It's so lame. It's just like talk to the average chick, even a really nerdy girl. You know what? She likes feminine things too. They exist.
Well, and they also can exist within those spaces too. So like
Exactly.
you'll find nerdy girls being drawn to like, you know, how many girls do actually like Wonder Woman and so on and so forth. Now granted there's an equally large number of them that are hard up after Nightwing's ass, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
You know what? I have actually seen that. I can confirm that.
That there are girls who are into Nightwing's ass.
Thirsty ass.
That there are girls who would go to war over Nightwing's ass.
They really would. Like I remember there was this server I was in once, and like all the chicks there did nothing but talk about how delicious Nightwing's ass was.
Okay.
And I just want to say as a male attracted person in this live stream,
I hate you.
I'm doing it ironically, you bastard.
Oh my god.
As a male attracted person in this live stream, I must say, Nightwing really, of all the other superheroes,
He's hot.
of all the other, like I just want it recorded for some kind of record that under normal circumstances, yes. You know, if someone who looked like Dick Grayson walked into a bar, yes, I will take 10 of those, please. But in a world of all the superheroes, Nightwing really.
I mean, I like Nightwing. Then again, I like Superman too. So.
And at this exact moment, I'm just talking about physical attraction. I'm not even talking about various other factors and things.
I mean,
I'm just like when all, you know, superpowered beings look like, you know, male models on Super Soldier Serum, then in by my metrics at least, Nightwing is somewhere towards the bottom.
Really? Jesus. Then again, like, we're not all into Dalton. We're not all into fucking Bizarro Superman, bro.
Not Bizarro.
Like fucking Lobo. Fucking
But
Dalton is just like, I really like Lobo. People need to like Lobo more.
no, Lobo needs to shave. Lobo needs to shave, and then he will be cute.
What's up?
Anyway.
Shit, I forgot my. Oh no, wait, it was the girls like science thing. Never mind. I'm good.
Okay. So, you know.
All right.
Yes.
What is this? Banana Bot.
Banana Bot.
When love is the Brooklyn way, and then you don't know how you know. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a brick, same number, same brick. It's all good. Of all the threats from both your past
This is a celebration of culture.
I mean, it looks fine. I don't really have Too
That
much.
looks alright.
Yeah, like I said, I had vaguely positive things to say about this, and now in the background, all I'm hearing is it's about black people and Hispanics.
It's about the culture. Oh my god! I remember somebody said something funny to me. Somebody said something funny. It was a YouTube video, and they were like, "This is going to basically like, there's barely going to be any of that shit in the actual movie." And like the director's going to is going to pat himself on the back because he had like black characters in it and be like, "See, this is for the culture." And
I
I'm
will say
like,
this. I think there's also kind of a point of contention I have with these films.
what's that?
I kind of want them to get rid of the human characters.
Oh yeah, because they don't add anything.
I mean, okay, it could work. Honestly, I think the
The problem is either you need to make the human characters actively choose to become involved and actually be meaningfully helpful to the Autobots when they're there, or just set a fucking movie on Cybertron already so we can have a robot on robot movie.
I have a bit of a hot take. Not a hot take, but I have a bit of an opinion that I know nobody would ever listen to. I think it would be fascinating if the Decepticons had human allies. Because I've never seen that before.
they tried that in like what was it, Dark of the Moon?
Yeah,
Yeah, but then they killed all of them. Go ahead.
when Megatron was making deals with the evil but totally still badass because Michael Bay military fucked the sticks.
Honestly, you know what? I'm fine with that because it makes the most sense that if alien soldiers that accidentally bring their war to our planet, that the military would be kind of a more prominent figure.
Yeah, but they'd still be a foreign military, and that's why, as much as I hate the military sucks people, I also equally hate the hoorah military people because it's just like the military is a giant, stupid, testosterone fueled bureaucracy, and that is what it is, regardless of any moral judgments or one way or the other. And they're full of a bunch of idiots who are too bullheaded to listen to reason half the fucking time.
I
And
mean,
the people who do get listened to are either hidden away pulling the string somewhere and letting the cannon fodder go out in front of them, as per what I'm sure Chrono is now typing,
I don't.
and
I don't really.
or grunts.
I don't
So
really think that's necessarily the case. I think it's a bit. I think it's more complicated than just like muscle-bound idiots going hurrah and running into death. Like there's like a lot of diplomacy. There's a lot of There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of like real-world political ramifications that go into like
okay,
any type of
yes,
military.
but they never show that in movies. Is what I'm getting.
Okay, you're
It,
talking
it,
about. I thought you were talking about like actual military or something.
if you want that kind of portrayal of the military, then give me that kind of portrayal of the military. I will like take time to set that up. But
Right.
otherwise, in general, the military, especially the U.S. military, it must be said, is a giant loaded behemoth that basically stumbles off they're basically Cornites without the chaos juice.
Oh,
So
you're talking. Okay, you're talking about in portrayals of the military in movies. Okay, no, that's totally. No, I totally agree.
yeah, I agree with that.
And also my just hatred for bureaucracies in general.
Okay, so what I was going to say, and before anyone tries to interrupt me, I'm going to say shut the fuck up.
Okay.
That's mainly at Dalton, not you, Chris.
Okay. Let me see. Thank you. By the way.
Well, I was going to say, honestly, because I know Michael Bay is a big military ego stroker or whatever the fuck. Pretty big in his movies.
He's
Yeah.
like Zack Snyder. He
Right.
can never go 5 minutes without jerking them off.
My point. If anything, make the main characters the military. Like, I will say, in the first movie, in the first trilogy, I was actually just a big fan of watching the military guys. because they seem to have more character and more. They were more consistent of character and had arcs and stuff.
See, I don't like that because that I think gives a little bit too much credence to the overloaded U.S. military bureaucracy.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying that there is that, but I'm saying that honestly, the characters I found the most interesting in those stories, in those movies, were the soldier guys because they actually seemed like people most of the time.
And that's a failure of Michael Bay because
Right.
he
Again,
gave all of the character to his
All right,
effigies of the military
let-
rather
let-
than the characters he wanted us to actually care about.
I mean, I get what Brainstormer is saying. I think I think he's not saying that we should. I think he's not saying that we should give the military a bigger budget. Just like use military characters as like the central figures.
I think that I think the military works best in movies as a kind of semi-bumbling antagonist, not for sheer incompetence, but for sheer just bureaucratic bloat and like bullheaded stupid.
I think you're just. I think you're like. I I disagree with that. I mean, if like if like the whole thing is just to be like I hate the military, okay, that's fine. But if you're trying to tell a story, I think you can do that while portraying the military in a more nuanced way than just as like Saturday morning cartoon villains.
No, but
Like
what I mean is I think the main character should usually be in opposition to the military rather than you know what would ET look like if when the military showed up to take ET, Elliot was just like, yeah, sure, here you go.
okay, hey, so before this whole thing gets into a long fucking winded conversation, as it always does, I agree with Dragon Turtle, where he says, I agree with Brainstormer, don't have some random kid on the street unless you have a really good reason. They're probably there to be an everyman, but I just end up wondering, what are they doing there and why should I care about them? Now,
Well,
again, hold on. What I'm saying in reference to the Transformers movies, it honestly makes more sense to have the military and those soldier characters be the main characters.
okay, no.
Saying,
Here's what I'll here's I'll snip right through the Gordian out of this false dichotomy right now. What you do, and I think what Michael Bay was trying to do and utterly failed at, is you have a nerdy character who is for some reason obsessed with like weird historical conspiracies and like finds out through his own research about the Transformers, and then they start falling to Earth because again we've established humans and Transformers have had a long history, yada yada yada. And then that kid tries to help, and of course the military comes in and wants to interfere because the military is controlling and wants to interfere. Things and that.
I just think you just hate the military and you're just unwilling to.
No, it works
just-
better as a protagonist because there are too many negatives with the military as an institution, but too many positives with the military as individual people.
This is again like you're involving your hangups with the military. You can tell a story that
I
has
don't
like
hate the
individual
military. I'm just
characters.
we all just have to, but there are truths about the way the military functions. Corrupt.
This is a TV. This is a movie with giant robots. You can
Yeah,
have a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, and what's more believable that aliens just show up here and the military doesn't go all kinds of ape shit and for shitting themselves for 5 minutes and then tries to nuke the alien threat off the planet.
Again, this is a movie about giant robots. You can have a more nuanced plot involving military characters who are a part of the military. Like If you
Yeah, but
Brainstormer writes stories for fuck's sake. Of course he can do something like that.
I mean, it can be done. I'm just suggesting a better way to do it, and that's why I called it a false dichotomy. You don't have to make the military uncharacteristically sympathetic in order to make that storyline work. What you do is what is basically the quasi ET thing that I think Michael Bay was actually going for and failed, which
Like,
is you have the outsider kid who, for some reason, is obsessive with Transformers, and then, finds Transformers, tries to help Transformers, military comes in being the military, and then, Decepticons come in. Maybe you can have them sign up with the military, and then here we go. Off to the races.
again, it's like they're like Dragon Turtle said, there are truths about about how human beings function too. Like there are truths about a lot of things, but Dalton, this is a movie about giant robots. You can have suspension of disbelief. You can write a story to incorporate different elements of something. It doesn't have to be like, oh, they're antagonistic and bumbling. They can never help anybody.
I'm just saying it's better. I didn't say it wasn't good originally. I said it would be better if, and then I
Okay.
gave my examples.
All right.
I'm not even I don't want to continue this because we got other things to do.
All right.
Banana?
Pen memories. Banana bot, yeah.
From both your past and future, you've never faced anything like this. Let them come.
He's still the only good part of these movies.
Yeah.
Hello.
Except for Bumblebee, because Bumblebee was the only good one.
I was going to say they have had mischaracterizations of Optimus in previous films.
You mean like when he turned evil?
No, that actually could work. There actually is a Nemesis Prime in the comics.
You mean when he's like a psycho who just like rips people in half and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Michael Bay films can like really
inconsistent.
They really mischaracterize Optimus as being this psychopath who just like destroys people and like rips their spines out and shit. It's like you're basically just the Decepticons, only you have a different color scheme.
Yeah. There's a big problem with that in the Bayformers verse.
I was gonna say but to be fair, they do mischaracterize a lot of characters.
Because Michael Bay doesn't care.
Yeah. Not really, no.
I was gonna say something. Fuck. What's my train of thought? Give me a second. Also they're very inconsistent. The Michael Bay film, Transformers film. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they're consistent in some ways, but they're none of the ways that people would prefer.
Well, no, there's just no in-universe consistency.
They really should have stopped at Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen at least had pretensions of continuity, and it was ancient enough continuity that, like, if they had stopped there, like, the necessary answers would have been answered, and then we could all go home.
I think they are consistent because they went through at least 3 soft reboots as Dragon Turtle.
That is also true. But that's why I say it should have been Transformers 1, then Revenge of the Fallen, and then we're good. It should have ended there.
Either that or story of Cade Yeager could have started it off. Because honestly, I found that again on paper that character is interesting.
Cade Yeager is far more interesting than Sam Witwicky. Yes.
On paper, I don't think he was handled well because of Mark Wahlberg playing that character.
Well, there's that, but by that same token, I think you could cut Sam Witwicky some slack by way of Shia LaBeouf being Shia LaBeouf. So.
No, and no, says Chrononaut.
Those no's should probably pertain to something, and I don't know what they pertain to.
Chrononaut says we reboot G1 robots.
Okay. So he's being like, here's how I would reboot the franchise. Good for you.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I tried once to rewrite the whole thing. I think I created 6 different trilogies of a whole series, like a whole series of films.
Like, I watched the cartoons growing up, and I remember some of the lore, but that's about as far as I go with regards to
as a cartoon
Transformers.
Yeah, Conan says that's cartoon. Yeah, I had some interesting ideas. If I was going to rewrite it, I tried to rewrite it, but just time and also kind of a weird lack of energy to write it kind of made me abandon the project. Couple of concepts I can at least say now are, well, one thing I would have kept the Camelot stuff. I honestly wouldn't have had them be so involved in human history as they were set up in the Bayformers universe.
Yeah, because now it's literally just ancient aliens with giant robots.
Yeah, so that I wouldn't have done. I just like the idea of Transformers in Camelot, like Arthurian myth. I don't know why, it just felt really cool to me.
And not to interrupt too much, but I thought it was established in, I think it was Revenge of the Fallen, that the Transformer technology went up over time along with kind of humanity's technical development. So if Transformers were hiding in Arthurian England, wouldn't they look like water wheels and shit? Because the old generation Transformers looked like the very earliest jets and Model Ts and shit. So by that logic, we're talking water wheels and forges and maybe early generation clocks for what Transformers probably should look like back then. And that was one thing, that was one continuity error that did bother me. It's now there's all of a sudden a freaking 75 Vespa, but in King Arthur's court, and I'm like, that should at the very least be a and that's the other thing. There's actually a really cool historical thing that they could pull from here, lore wise, which was called automata, which were royal toy machines. Certain royalty would pay toy makers and engineers to make them what essentially amounted to early robots, and that would be a cool way for Transformers to hide themselves.
I was also Giant Turtle brought up something interesting, which is they are machines from Cybertron that bearing any vehicles they would have lightly stuck with. But also, the Knights of Cybertron technically were combiners, and I don't think they had actual they were single form instead of the regular 2 forms they could transform into.
Oh, the combiners, yeah.
Yeah, because they turned into the giant dragon.
Yeah, the fucking the T1 had like a lot of combiners. It was pretty interesting. They had one that was called like Abomination or something. It actually looked kind of cool.
Devastator.
I know it was Devastator, and there was another one. Let me see if I can find it, because Devastator was really cool.
What were they called? Combat Cons?
Oh, Combaticons, I think.
Combaticons. Bruticus.
Bruticus. Bruticus. I remember him.
I remember that from the War for Cybertron games. You know.
I remember Bruticus.
Anyway, yeah, we're an hour and a half in. We haven't even gone through the first trailer. All right, shall we?
Abominus? Is that it? Okay, so one of them was called Abominus. Damn, he looks fucking badass. Holy shit. Alright, yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Alright. Banana.
Banana Bot.
Banana Bot.
I will say I dig the look of the. Well, right now we've only seen the Maximals.
Yeah, the Maximals, yeah.
I really dig them. Just how they're somewhat like a mix of organic and mechanical.
Yeah, the designs are a lot better than they've been in recent attempts. Cough, cough, Dinobots, cough.
I liked their animal. I liked their dino forms, if nothing else.
I mean, sure, if you want to be charitable.
Yeah, like I will agree their robot forms look terrible. I will not deny that. But I legitimately think that,
you don't like their robot forms?
Yeah, the Dino Knights from like Age of Extinction and Last Night.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about in this movie. My bad.
No. I dig both. I dig both forms, but the Dino Knights, I can agree that their robot forms look like shit. But
yeah, someone just take the rights of Transformers away from Michael frickin' Bay already, please.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, it looks like the design, specifically like Optimus a bit, is like a mix between the two. Like original Bayformer with like 2000.
Wasn't that what Bumblebee was like too?
No, they actually look pretty close to their G1 counterparts.
Because he had that mask that makes me think of the Michael Bay thing.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would keep just the mask on because I'm sick of like the face thing. To be honest.
Yeah, the faces look fucking horrifying. Okay, so Dalton, you know the mask that they wear?
Yeah.
Brainstormer wants them to keep it on because, like, you know how they have that weird Michael Bay face that looks like a fucking...
Oh, yeah, they're really bad at animating faces, and despite how far visual effects have come, they just have not learned to get better at faces because they don't think they need to, it seems like.
Yeah. Anyway, 15 seconds left, so. Banana Bot.
Banana Bot.
Now you know.
This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, it's real.
Again, it doesn't look bad, but I will say my enjoyment of this is now somewhat tainted because of what you brought up, Corrupt.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Trust me, when I found out about it, I was really kind of.
Can we also talk about the really, really possibly offensive thing that brings into the equation here? which is several of these characters actually are supposed to resemble apes, and the director said that the movie was about black people and Hispanics.
Like that, you know what? I thought about that just as I was looking at Optimus Primal. I'm like, that is such unfortunate timing.
like I remember when Alistair Gord, I think his name is, he quoted Measure for Measure, which has a speech in it, which is like, how man, proud man, his glassy essence like an angry ape, dressed in a little brief authority, shall strut his hour upon the stage, and make Job's own trees tremble, uh, while they with our spleens would all laugh mortal, etc. And he quoted that in an argument with somebody, and the somebody he was arguing with happened to be black, even though it was very obviously a quote about like, dude, don't be an authoritarian cunt. That's what that quote essentially means. And um and he got that guy canceled for using that quote because the guy he was talking to happened to be black.
Okay.
Even though he's used that same clip before on white people, which is hilarious.
I've got one. This is really really off topic, but like this is for Dalton because he'd know who the hell I'm talking about. Has Sean Head ever blocked anyone you know?
I
Or
do
follow?
not have any idea. I know I know she went crazy, but I just have avoided dealing with her for a while because I just, it's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
I used to watch her.
Yeah, that's like okay. So Brainstormer knows what I'm talking about. I didn't know if you knew
Well,
who
okay,
she
to
was.
be fair, I haven't watched her in like years, mainly because like it's kind of similar with like a lot of people I used to follow or watch. They just stopped making content that really interests me or grabbed me, and that's
All right.
really it's more out of boredom than anything.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
no,
Okay.
Shu went nuts. Shu went full Vosh almost.
Pretty much. You know what's funny? Like Vosh like publicly stabbed her in the back too. That's what was funny. Because
Oh, he finally did, because for
they
a while
finally
there he was like the only one in the bread tube corner that was like on her side for anything.
basically like Vosh said that she was irresponsible with her platform because
Oh, of course.
he tried to walk it to walk down the middle down the line a little bit.
Was this about the Club Q shooting thing? And
It was about the groomer shit.
versus the teddy bear fetish gear thing?
Yeah, it's about the groomer shit because she was really anti-groomer and shit. And Vosh was put in a really bad situation where he had to actually publicly denounce Shu. It was fucking hilarious.
I hate to say we told you so, Shu, my dear,
A
but
lot of people told her to. Like breadtubers have no breadtubers only have allies of convenience. They do not have friends.
Right.
they have enemies they are not afraid of for the moment,
Pretty
basically.
much. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry about that, Brainstormer.
No, I was just saying like, ready to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun one. 'Cause I don't know. Actually, I don't know if you've seen the first movie. It's a sequel.
Which one?
Across the Spider Verse.
Hmm.
Which is a sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, Into the Spider Verse. Okay, I've seen this one.
I'll be honest. I didn't see it until like 2 years after it had come out.
Here's one for you. I've never seen Spider Verse before, and I'm really not interested in seeing it. Just dead ass honest with you. Just dead ass. I just don't have any interest in seeing Spider Verse. I know people say it's a good show, or I'm sorry, a good movie. I don't doubt that it's a good movie. It probably is a great movie. It's just I just
You
don't care.
mean No Way Home?
Ha!
Or
I see what you did. I see what you did there. I mean
Yeah,
Spider Verse.
oh, you never watched the first one?
No, I've never watched Spider Verse before. I know
I
people say Spider-Verse is a great movie. I'm not doubting that it is or isn't. I've just never seen it before, and I don't have any interest in it. That's it. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I would probably enjoy the shit out of it. It's just I've never seen it before.
You know what?
add
Fair-
mine to the list of names of people who think you should at least give it a watch.
Okay.
I will maybe I don't know if this could help you to be inspired to watch it or be detrimental. The guys who produced it, because I know it was made by someone else, are the guys who worked on the Lego movie. Have you seen that one?
Or 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Let me see. The Lego movie? The guys who worked on the Lego movie worked on Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's interesting.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller can do no wrong. And you would think Kathleen Kennedy would have known that before kicking them off the Solo and replacing them with Ron Howard.
I heard that there was disagreements with how they handle things. Like, remember the feminist robot? I remember that rumor going around.
Oh, the droid right suppression robot. Oh
Yeah,
god.
the feminist robot. I remember they were like they thought it was a joke, and that's the rumor I heard. They thought it was a joke,
She
and they
insisted
wanted
on
to
it.
make fun of it. Yeah.
She insisted on being in it because she insisted on having that robot there because she essentially viewed it as a self-insert character for herself.
Right. So shall we, Banana?
Banana Bot. Yes, let's go.
Spider-Man.
No.
In a Spider-Verse, there is a Spider-Banana somewhere.
Yeah,
There's Spider-Ham. Why wouldn't there be Spider-Banana?
I can hear you being quiet, Mom.
I can hear you being quiet. That's
Sorry,
what
I had to.
away.
Again, the 20-second thing. I have to pause.
I know, I hear it. No, I agree with you. Like, I make content, so I completely understand with you. Also, what sucks is that I can't curse anymore and say nigga. God, that makes me angry.
Okay, no, you can say it. We are absolutely forbidden from ever saying it.
It hurts me. It hurts me in the SEO if I curse and shit. And now there are guidelines now that won't let you fucking curse anymore. Like, that shit sucks.
So now not even black people can use the N-word.
Seriously, yeah. Now I have to do what the fucking quartering does and water my language down like I'm fucking 5. And say like the N-word. I hate that so much.
I've always found the quartering to be dull as sin. Like, even before he got fully going, when he was just guest starring on the occasional Sargon stream, like, I've always found the quartering guilty as sin. Now, don't get me wrong, I did once reach out to him on the behalf of Englentine and the rest of us to get him on the stream once, and he literally never got back to me. So
like here's my thing about the quarter, right? Like, I have no issue with him. I just don't like the fact that I have to do this shit. Like, he has to do this stupid like goo goo gaga shit where you can't say certain things or else it hurts you in the fucking algorithm and shit. And I hate doing that. But I know that. But I've even noticed it with my own videos. My videos where I don't curse as much, where I censor myself and act like where I censor myself, do better. My views do better than when I'm able to actually curse. I can't even cover shit that I want.
Big Brother is listening. You must not say the forbidden words.
It's so aggravating, Dalton, because I can't even cover content I want to. Like, I like reading those. Like, I have these videos where I read weird shit off of Twitter. I can't do that anymore.
Oh god, the depravity of Twitter. Oh god.
Like, I can't even do that anymore because if I do it now, like, I may get hit by like the algorithm and shit. God, I hate the fact that we all have to do this stupid goo goo gaga baby shit. This platform is made up mostly of fucking older people anyway. I don't understand why we have to do this stupid bullshit where we have to act like where we have to talk like we're talking to toddlers. Most of my audience aren't toddlers. Yes, they're stupid teenagers, but they're not toddlers. Like,
Because
holy shit.
because the party is listening and Sister Susan is
Oh my
listening.
god, I hate that so much. Like, you know what annoys me too, right? Most of my shit is edgy, so I attract like stupid teenage boys. Like now I have to
Yeah,
talk. Now I have to talk like a
I
5-year-old.
could totally see my youngest brother watching you. He would get a kick out of you, probably.
Thank you. Like I have to talk like
Of course,
talk
then
like
you
a 5-year-old.
radicalize him into a Nazi again, and then have to de-radicalize him again. But that's
Look,
neither here nor there.
I love you, Dalton. But like seriously though, like I have to like I have an audience that I attract. I don't want to have to talk to them like they're 5. I can't say edgy shit anymore because if I do, I'm gonna get hit by a fucking yellow stripe. God, I hate YouTube. I hate what YouTube has done to the fucking to streamers and content makers. I can't say the stuff that I want. I can't be edgy like I like to be edgy. I like to say ridiculous, outlandish shit, but I can't do that anymore because if I
I'll
do,
have the
I'll get
4chan
hit.
memes.
Like, oh my god, I hate YouTube. I hate YouTube so much. It's such a bullshit system.
And see, now that Corrupt has had his 10 minutes of therapy, we probably should move on.
All right,
Banana.
sorry.
Now you go, man. Spider Banana.
Spider Banana.
Also, I agree with Dragon Turtle. But yeah, Spider Banana.
I hope I didn't ice your game, man.
No one my age says those words in that order.
It's just hard to see my little man not being my little boy all the time.
Yeah.
For years, I've been taking care of this little boy.
I gotta say, I love the art style for this because they really like it's 3D, but they're making it to look like it's both stop motion and emulates like comic art and stuff. Because like if you look really closely, it has like the dots. Like, if you really examine and in like a frame, it has like the you know the old dots from the old comics they would do. What were they called again?
What?
The Kirby dots? The Kirby
No,
color dots?
the colored dots. Like if you examine like an old comic page, like you'd see like those,
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the name of them off the top of my head. I know when he applied the same thing to like energy and shit, they call it Kirby Crackle. So
well, it's for the printing. Like it's
no, I know, but I'm trying to think of they were shit. Anyway,
well, I was just gonna say, like, I dig the art style for this, just because like it's so unique when compared to like other things. Because this really tries to emulate comic books, while like other animated films you see really try to emulate like real life, like the lighting and stuff. Which it does that too in certain parts, but it also it's just vibrant and colorful. And I realize saying that now as we have like this frame is not a good indicator of that, mind you. But
we will get there. We will get to the vibrant portion of the thing.
Yeah.
And on that note, Spider Banana.
Spider Banana.
Try to come up with a theme song for that. I that's a dare. I dare someone to do that.
Spider Banana, Spider Banana.
Radioactive Spider Banana. I love that fucking theme song. Oh my god, I love the Spider-Man theme song.
Yeah, you grew up with that one.
Most powerful fruit that you ever heard of.
So wait, who? Okay, so actually, sorry, it's a little side tangent here, but kind of still on topic. Who grew up with what Spider-Man show?
I grew up with Spider-Man the animated series.
I did as well, and also reruns of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and the occasional odd like episode or two of the like 60s show, and also Spectacular. I watched a lot of cartoons, and I still watch a lot of
Yeah.
cartoons.
Okay.
But
So
like the one that was like my first was probably the animated series.
right.
Still the best portrayal of Doctor Strange, by the way, in that one episode.
Okay. So I'm also an. It's kind of similar with Dalton. I remember if anyone remembers Jet X.
Oh, I
I
love Jet
remember
X.
Jet.
That had Super Robot Monkey Force
Dude, that
Super
was
Robot
Super Robot Monkey
Hyperforce
Team
Go.
Hyperforce Go. Yes.
Yes.
back when we still had Saturday morning cartoons.
Those weren't on Saturday morning.
That was the only time. That's the only time I ever saw Jet X.
Robot Monkeys.
No, as far as I remember, Jet X was the late night Disney Channel block.
Oh no, Jet X used to come on in the afternoon.
Yeah, I remember it did back when it was on ABC Family, but I remember it from when it was the late night Disney block.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm younger, so that's how I remember Jet X. But yeah, I remember watching reruns of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends when that was on.
Remember Seven Little Superheroes? That's still to this day my favorite episode of that show, Seven Little Superheroes.
And the Amazing Spider-Man. The animated series from the 90s. Honestly, the one I remember most is obviously the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Is that the new one where the Kingpin was replaced by?
No. The Spectacular Spider-Man is the one that was done by WB. That one actually was a Saturday morning cartoon.
I thought that was the one that was where the Kingpin was played by where the Kingpin was replaced by Tombstone.
Yeah, no, that was
it was, but that was that was on Kids WB. That one actually. Speaking of back when we actually had Saturday morning cartoons, Kids WB was my version of Saturday morning cartoons. Because otherwise, I would just flip it to one of the channels that was 24-hour cartoons.
You know what's sad? We don't really even have cartoons anymore because now animation is either made for adults or weird Tumblrite children.
Okay, but no, I'm not gonna allow for that because I do like that we've moved into a space where you don't have to stop liking them.
No, what I'm saying is like it's no longer something that's also for children. It's now the domain. It seems exclusively of like adults, like adult cartoons like Rick and Morty or like Tumblr shit. That's what I mean. Like children. It's like we've taken away we've taken cartoons from children basically.
It's not even that new. It's basically what happened back in like the 70s and 60s and to a small extent the 80s, where like
you're talking about because of like the adult cartoons and shit that used to come out then.
Well, no, where the TradCon censors would sanitize everything to such a degree that it wasn't even stuff people would actually want to watch if they had any other option. I think what you're getting at is, at least with regards to the Tumblrite shit. Obviously, Adult Swim is a whole other, and adult cartoons are a whole other thing unto themselves. But I think what we're getting at here, and I've seen this in the case of my brothers, is cartoons have devolved to such a degree, largely due to all the influence of the Tumblrite shit, that kids actually don't like to watch them.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to be fair, I have seen like there are actually some like really good like kid cartoons.
What, like Bluey and shit?
Well, that are not on public networks, but like streaming services.
Oh, like what?
Well, there was this show that I recently looked up. Well, there's Kid Cosmic that was made by Craig McCracken. Guy made Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, I remember. I've seen Kid Cosmic.
Yeah, I think it wrapped up its final season like a year ago.
Let me see.
Keep in line with Netflix. There's this like mecha series that's on there. With like these two robots with like this what is it? Where they're like sentient and they fight these giant monsters that crash onto Earth.
Symbionic Titan, you mean?
No. It's a new one. I can't remember what it's called though. Super Battle Robot Brothers, I believe it's called.
Let me see. I looked up kids cartoons and all I got was shit like Coco Melon.
What?
Yeah. I looked up kids cartoons and the only result I got was Coco Melon, that Pig show, and Bluey.
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig, thank you. That Meat Canyon made a fucking cartoon animation out of Peppa Pig. It was amazing.
Okay, for one thing, I respect Meat Canyon. I can never watch any of his animations though.
They are really fucked up. Yeah, they are. Really
I mean, the only one I can really watch is the Pinocchio one.
Oh, where Pinocchio wants to eat his father's flesh so he can become human.
And consume his soul, I believe. That's what.
Yeah.
Billy and Mandy did it.
Okay. What the fuck does that matter?
I just want the credit to go to Billy and Mandy for doing it first.
Okay, fair enough.
The problem is that like a lot of these ideas, like I feel like we've entered an era where like a lot of ideas are just kind of like recycled. So a lot of shit that happened before is just going to happen again, and so on and so forth.
Okay. I have a slightly different theory. My theory is not. The problem isn't that we've thought of everything before. The problem is that we keep rediscovering the same thoughts and thinking we're so clever for thinking of them. Because that's exactly what Marvel Comics does. And it drives me to tears. Every time they do we've never seen Doctor Strange suffer for his powers, let's have him take his powers away and have him re-earn them again for the 500th freaking time. Every time. It's like you genuinely think that you're so insightful for thinking of this, don't you? And you genuinely think that no one has ever thought of this, don't you? Have you read a comic ever in your life? And it's the same with cartoons too. It's like you genuinely think you're the first show to do magical girls. Have you heard of Witch? Because I remember Witch from when I was like like younger than Brainstormer would have been when I was born.
Dude,
so
I'm sorry. I'm just getting a wave of nostalgia from Witch.
I love Witch. I love Witch. Witch was good, but it's not. Don't get me wrong. Gen Z has a couple really good standout cartoons, like Adventure Time, like Gravity Falls, like Steven Universe until they ruined it.
Those aren't Gen Z cartoons. Those are millennial cartoons. Those are for millennials, bro.
No, those are late 2010s. No, not late. Early 2010s. They came out. I remember that. I grew up watching those. I'm Gen Z, so.
Yeah.
I would say I've always kind of felt. I know Steven Universe. I know the demographic for Steven Universe.
I could never watch that show. I could never.
The writers are a bunch of millennials in all cases, but the audience is supposed to be like Gen Z.
Like so, Steven Universe has like like the audience, the Gravity Falls and Gravity Falls and Adventure Time I'll give you, but the audience for Steven Universe were millennials, mostly like.
Well, yeah, because women. There was a large contingent of hipsters,
older millennial fucking women, and they were just like. Also, Steven Universe was supposedly for like young boy. It was aimed at young boys, supposedly.
Bull and all of the shit.
Right.
So all of the shit.
So I have two things to say.
What's up?
One never could really watch Steven Universe. It was boring.
It's just fucking gay. Like
The problem is it's a slow burn getting in, and then once you're in, they still have filler episodes, but it's not like the occasional filler episode that does actually add something interesting to the plot. It's like we will have maybe 5 episodes a season that further the plot, and then we will have 15 that do not further the plot one iota and will mock the plot. And then we'll get to season 5 and finally remember there's a plot we're supposed to be doing. And then at the end of season 5, we will literally mock all of the better fan theories than the one we came up with.
Yeah,
honestly, I just thought it was really fucking gay. I mean, it was a TV show that was clearly meant for like someone's autistic, like 20-year-old sister. You know?
You mean Rebecca Sugar?
Oh, they went after her too.
Yeah, again, I couldn't get into it because, like what Don said, it's a super slow burn. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind slow burns, but it never grabbed me from the start to make me want to stay.
If you want me to give you kind of a dry run, I will go through, find all of the lore and plot based episodes, and tell you where and how to edit out the filler, so that you can actually do it.
I'm good. I don't want to.
Okay.
The second thing is, Chrononaut in the comments was calling us an elitist because we had cable growing up.
Yeah, no, but I will accept that because I had a bunch of channels. But at the same time, oh my god, did I love having a bunch of channels. Like I honestly watched Boomerang more than I watched Cartoon Network.
Oh my god, Boomerang!
I remember Boomerang. That's where I discovered Birdman and fucking Space Ghost and shit. I love those shows.
I love old cartoons. Old cartoons are awesome.
I got that from Adult Swim growing up.
Oh, okay. So you've never seen like the straight versions of like Space Ghost or Birdman?
Yeah, you've never seen the non-parody versions of them?
No, I haven't. Well, I'm aware of them. Like I watched like videos that talk about them, like on their lore and stuff. I know about that, but I never got to see the actual show itself.
The shows are fun. They're they're fun, very short shows. Yeah, that have like a little bit of action in them. They're pretty.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But to be fair, the long running ones I've seen only really the parodies of. And to be fair, I love Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, more.
The only problem I have with Boomerang is they will not, for whatever reason, even though their whole purpose is to basically be here is where Cartoon Network was like 20 years ago, even though that's basically their whole purpose, they have skipped over Cartoon Network's live action phase entirely. And I know people are gonna whine about the live action choice was a stupid choice, whatever. But some of the live action shows were actually pretty damn good.
What, like Inside Billy's Head or something, or whatever it's called?
No, that one was the worst one.
You know, there was an episode where everybody pretended to be a baby. It was called Bad Fad.
No, but there were two shows at least, and then there were a bunch of the like faux documentary ones that I liked. That I really liked. One was called Tower Prep, and one was called Unnatural History. I really like both of those shows, but nobody but me knows those shows existed anymore because they will not show reruns of them on Boomerang, and I'm sad.
It's because the live action stuff was so hated that they probably just abandoned it altogether.
Yeah, but this is definitely a case of get rid of the shit that isn't working. Keep your stars there.
Please. I kind of want to describe Bad Fat to Brainstormer to see how uncomfortable he'd be with it.
I'm good and no thank you.
Oh dear.
Really? Come on. It's interesting.
Let's not. We have a thing to get through. Spider-Man.
In Billy's mind, why does that sound familiar?
It inside Billy's head, and it's the one about the kid who gets brain damage and a botched brain surgery where he is now sharing a brain with his favorite cartoonist.
Yeah.
And so now his cartoons are basically acting as partially schizophrenic delusions, partially like devils on his shoulder, partially characters for him to play off. And all the while, an evil scientist is trying to steal the cartoonist's brain back so he can take over the world because reasons.
Wasn't he the son of the cartoonist?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I remember that show. It was okay.
Yeah,
fair,
but
I don't remember much of it, and
what was the other one that I didn't think was too bad? I think it was called Level Up. It was like characters from video games were crossing over into the real world, and this like group of gaming nerds teamed up to fight them, kind of thing.
yeah, I remember
It was
that.
basically video game Ghostbusters, kind of.
I loved that show. Actually, I really liked that. I actually played the game that they created in. That's actually like supposed to be the game in the show. So that was
Unnatural History was my favorite. It should have, I don't know, gone to another network. Maybe Nickelodeon could have spun it, something, but it needed a season 2. I want a season 2 of Unnatural, and I'm well aware it's been literally more than a decade now, but seriously, Unnatural History was fucking gold. It was basically Buffy meets Indiana Jones meets Degrassi, kind of, sort of. I can't even describe it to you. It's so many flavors of awesome, all worked into one, and it was just a good show. Unfortunately, it was lost in the live action Cartoon Network phase. So
anyway, shall we?
Let's go.
Spider Banana.
Spider Banana.
Making sure he is loved, that he feels like he belongs wherever he wants to be. He wants to go out into the world and do great big things.
Yeah, I dig this, like the look of it and stuff, and the music.
It looks like a comic. I'd watch it. It looks okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because this is quote unquote made for me, but it's just like, yeah, I'd watch it. It's all right.
Well, you still haven't seen the first one, and you should watch the first one.
All right.
Anyway, shall we?
Well, let's go.
Spider Banana.
Spider Banana.
Yep.
Not bad, kid.
And what I worry about most
I love you, Lance.
is they won't look out for you like us. Miles! Want to get out of here? Wherever you go from here, you have to promise to take care of that little boy for me.
Yeah, I got really nothing to say. I'm digging it.
It looks interesting. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is about these types of shows that just don't get any interest from me. I mean, it looks really nice. It looks like a comic. The humor is on point. Like I like the joke that he made about his mom to his mom. It's just I just don't know.
I feel like with this you're kind of missing context because again you haven't seen like the first one. So
Like it's not that it's like I'm pretty caught. Like I know what happens in the first one. Like I know all the spoilers. I know about Spider-Man. I know about like how he becomes Spider-Man's like temporary like apprentice to learn how to do the spider shit. Like I know all of that, and I have like a pretty decent amount of context. It's just there's no draw for me here, like there is for most people who would probably watch it. Like that, and you know what the problem probably is? I'll tell you what it is, and it's probably the same thing that makes me like somewhat meh to Wakanda Forever. I don't like the people who usually like this shit. on Twitter, I'll just be honest with you. I just don't like a lot of the
Yeah,
Twitter people.
it's everyone else is spoiling it for me sort of situation.
It's not even that everyone spoils it for me. It's just that, like,
Well,
the type
I
of
mean
people.
spoil in the old sense, not in the internet sense of
Oh,
like
okay.
you
Yeah.
liking it makes it hard for me to like it kind of thing.
It's kind of like the people who like this are the people who have like BLM, ACAB, my pronouns are he, she, or he,
What?
she, they, and I'm really quirky and zany, but also I'll block you if you're a Nazi. Like it's
Yeah.
those types of people.
Yeah, I think I get you, man. And honestly, that has happened sometimes with some things. Like specifically like when movies have like that overall big hype and stuff. That's when it kind of turns me off.
Yeah.
I mean that's rarely happened to me to be honest, but I've had that happen. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but
Okay, I get. Yeah, I'll probably, like I said, I'll watch it because it looks nice. The humor looks good, and I like the homage to Spider-Man because instead of it being like, "Get out of the way, old man, your time is over," it's more like, "Oh, Spider-Man's awesome, and I want to be
Yeah,
like."
no, there's no BLM shit in here.
if there was, I would.
As much as they might want to claim it for themselves, it's them inserting themselves where they're not wanted rather than reacting to something that was a reference to them.
Anyway, shall we?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Make sure he never forgets where he came from. And he never doubts that he is loved. And he never lets anyone tell him that he doesn't.
Oh yeah, there was a whole thing when this trailer came out about Jessica Drew, which is this lady right here.
The Spider-Woman.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't really know the character, so I don't really have a stake in it, or so. But I don't really have anything to say. Again, like it looks good. Like that's really it. Like it's just I've already seen this trailer and it just looks good. Like it's like I don't really have anything to critique.
There's no real criticism I can give it. Oh, it's fucking pregnant Spider-Woman. That's what I know her as.
Again, I don't really know much about the character of Jessica Drew, to be fully honest, so I don't really have anything.
Question I have though is if this was a Jessica Drew who knows about the multiverse, did she check up with another Spider-Man and is now having a Spider Kid?
I don't know.
I want that to be a thing now, and if that's not a thing, I'm going to be slightly annoyed.
Right.
I don't know. I just kind of overall hate her design. She's just like, she doesn't even feel like a spider person. She's just dressed like some random in a jacket and pants. Like, holy shit. So interesting.
You know, it's weird. I would be fine. This kind of goes over to an overall thing. I don't mind superheroes in like casual wear for their costume. Granted,
Yeah.
it has to be kind of more stylized than others.
They still have to stand out in some way that says I am worth paying attention to.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. Corrupt, like the design just is a bit off because like it doesn't really feel like there's anything super about it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the trailer, and maybe it's just that particular image they chose for the trailer. Who knows?
Well, we're talking about overall character design, which is a constant here. So
yeah, but who knows? Maybe it'll look different on the screen or what have you. So who knows?
I don't get that reasoning at all.
Because trailers can be tricky and cut out context, or maybe this is how she looks at the beginning of the movie and she'll look different at the end, or
Hopefully.
so on.
Okay, it's just the way you phrased it earlier didn't sound right.
Anyway, Spider-Man.
Banana spider, which now that I say that, actually sounds fucking terrifying.
Black
They also
banana.
exist.
Black spider banana. Let's go.
But
You know,
yeah,
actually,
the banana spider actually exists, and it is kind of terrifying.
You know, I've actually turned a banana black.
Let's not go into this any further than we have to. And Spider Banana, for the love of God,
One thing, I'm sure I've just piqued Corrupt's interest by that.
please stop.
Like a black banana. I'm googling it now actually because I'm
Well,
curious.
no, okay. So the thing was, God, what was this, like third grade or something? I had accidentally left a banana that I was going to eat at some point. I left it in my book bag for weeks on end. I just kept forgetting about it.
Ew! Oh my god.
Yeah. So black banana.
Can we please move on?
Also, I looked up black bananas and they look fucking. And you can actually make stuff out of them, like oven roasted bananas.
Also, I want to make it clear, I did not eat that rotten banana. I just
You
want that to
didn't?
be clear. No, I didn't. I did not.
I'd be kind of interested in what it tasted like if you did.
No.
Okay, but let's move. This is why I wanted us to. This is why I tried to save us this path, and now we're on this path.
I don't regret it.
Oh.
Hey, you put me through misery every week.
Yeah.
This is fair. This
Yeah.
is true.
Anyway,
Spider Banana.
Spider Banana.
Along there. You gotta promise, Miles.
I promise.
You gotta promise.
Who do you think you are? Really?
I do hope, like, my only, like, concern is, well,
The oversaturation of spider people.
that and what Dragon Troll had said earlier was like jumping the shark and relying on references and gimmicks.
So I think that's one of my biggest turnoffs to the movie that I can identify. That's not associated with some of the people who like it. Is that I think it over like the first was clever because you got to see like different versions of Spider-Man. That was fine.
Spider-Ham.
Exactly.
Spider-Man.
I think they should have dropped the gimmick after that because now this just feels repetitive and now they're overdoing it with more spider people and it's
Right.
just
I have faith in Phil Lord and Chris Miller for as yet they can do no wrong. So
right. I also, well, I agree with you, Corrupt. I also think this is getting bigger in terms of scope, and what kind of helped with Into the Spider-Verse that they kind of kept it more small scale than a smaller cast of characters, and those characters, the other Spider people, contributed to the plot as well. So I think that is kind of also my kind of thing, my concern as well.
And I again I have faith in Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So
I'm not saying I don't have faith in them. It's just like it is a concern at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to say I don't think it means that like they suck just because you have concerns or criticisms about the way things are being handled.
I don't see scaling up as a bad thing, but I generally prefer larger scale as a rule. So that's me. As everyone knows at this point, I prefer larger scale as a rule.
Like that's fine to have. It's fine to have things larger scale. My issue is more or less that I want something different that like I want something different than like more spider people.
I mean, you'll probably get it, and I don't know if it's gonna wind up being, multiversal different Avengers because this is Sony and they can't do that. But I could see it being multiversal different versions of the villains. That would be neat.
You know what? The weirdest thing is, I think Sony could have done a Spider-Man cinematic universe. It's honestly not that fucking hard. They keep shooting themselves in the foot.
They would actually have to care about their own IPs, and they don't care about their own IPs. It's the problem.
Like the world of Spider-Man, like even in the grand scope of the MCU or the Marvel universe, I mean, is there are a lot of interesting characters, both villains, heroes, side characters, and stuff that populate it. So it's just like
Corrupt and I both grew up on the animated series, so I think we both remember just how badass Madam Web was.
Yeah, Madam Web was kind of cool. I liked her design too.
Can I just say for everyone who grew up from the '90s show, we would all kill to see that Madam Web on screen, but we're never gonna get her because you're never gonna get that far, are you?
Not really. If we do get a Madam Web, she's probably going to be a drag queen.
Oh, they're doing that.
Oh.
You guys know that?
Wait, say that
again? They're doing a Madam Web movie.
Yeah, but it's not it's not that Madam Web. It's the street level Madam Web. It's not the reality bending possible quasi witch from another dimension who is like the mentor / conscience for Spider-Man when he's in black suit mode. Like that's the Madam Web we all grew up with. It's like Marvel constantly saying they're gonna do the Mandarin, and then everyone who grew up on the '90s animated series of Iron Man is like, okay, so you're gonna do the big green like Neo-Luddite space wizard with the techno magic rings, right? With the like army of Power Rangers villains at his beck and call, like Hypnosha and Fin Fang Foom and MODOK, right? Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that, Mandarin. We're gonna make him a terrorist. Okay, we're gonna try the Mandarin again. Okay, so you're finally gonna do the techno wizard, the Neo-Luddite techno wizard from space? Nah, we're gonna make him a mob boss with some alien technology. Okay, that's closer, but I want my Neo-Luddite techno wizard from space. It's like that. Like when I want a character I want, please give me the character I want. Don't tell me you're gonna give me a character I want and then not give them to me. That is the.
Anyway, it's like I don't know, 20 more seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
We are supposed to be the good guys.
We are.
It doesn't. Like again, even with context, it just doesn't look appealing to me. Like the Transformers thing looked more appealing to me.
Give the first one a go, and then how you feel about the first one will probably shape how you feel about the second one.
All right, I'll do that. That's fair. I'll do that.
Any other trailers? I can't remember the other ones we said.
One sec.
Okay, I think this is the last one, right?
Let me see here. If it does touch corrupt in his, what is this?
Okay, get the other one set up.
I'm liking the menagerie you got there in your background, Dalton.
Sorry.
No, don't be. Like I said, I'm liking that. That's interesting. I like the menagerie you got there. It's like being in some sort of occult warehouse. I like that.
My room looks very stereotypical, like, you know, the odd the odd abandoned house that the kids stumble upon in any given 80s movie, or the like odd seller of MacGuffins at the beginning of any given Goosebumps episode,
Pretty much.
that or some sort of bizarre museum that's been hoarded over for centuries. Yeah, that's kind of what my room looks like.
I'm gonna sell you a watch that'll change your sexuality.
If I had one of those, I would have used it long ago on some people I know.
You're evil. You realize that, right?
And that's what the fuck? I didn't mean you.
No, I meant in general.
Yes, I am aware for that. I am aware of that. I have never claimed to be anything other than lawful evil.
Dalton is lawful evil.
Okay, I lie slightly. I've always said I'm lawful neutral, leaning on lawful evil, and yes, I probably do lean significantly towards lawful.
Honestly, oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I personally think he leans more chaotic neutral.
I was going to
Fuck
say
off.
that.
Fuck off, both of you.
So this is what I think. I think you lean lawful neutral or true neutral. That's where I feel like that best sums you up as true neutral.
I think I'm default at lawful neutral, but I'm leaning towards lawful evil. That's where I put myself.
Like I would probably sum myself up as neutral evil. Like I don't even.
Yeah, that fits you. And then
Neutral
my other friend, when he took the test I gave him, got chaotic evil, and he just giggled.
Like neutral evil, or I guess I wouldn't even say chaotic neutral for me, but neutral evil, or yeah, neutral evil probably suits me the best. Lawful evil too, because I do like the whole tyranny thing.
Okay, I got a question.
What's your question? Neutral good, or true neutral?
Really?
I don't think he's anywhere on the neutral spectrum. The question is, which kind of good is he?
That's why I say neutral good, because I don't see you as being more like overly moralistic as with lawful good, and I don't see you as being like chaotic, chaotic.
To be fair, I would say neutral.
That's why I say true neutral, which is basically neutral or neutral good. Because,
yeah, no, you're on the good spectrum, my friend. There is no getting around it, unless to quote the Dickens quote once again, unless these shadows remain altered by the future, you are on the good spectrum, and Corrupt and I are not. That is how that works.
You're definitely like I definitely think you're neutral good, and when I say neutral good, Brainstormer, I don't mean like you're like this ultimate goody two shoes. I mean you're good in the sense that you do have a little bit of that in you, but like you're more of the live and let live type of person.
Yeah.
That's why I say neutral good. You're more of the live and let live type of person. Like you want to do the right thing, but not at the cost of someone else's freedom and shit like that.
That is fair.
Anyway, shall we, Banana?
Wait. I want to know Brainstormer's summation of me though, because I think I'm true. I think I'm neutral evil or lawful evil. What do you think, Brainstormer? What am I? Give me one.
I was gonna say like chaotic neutral.
Let me see. Maybe.
I mean, there is a lot of cringe and randomness in them that are hills. So
Well, I don't really see you or Dalton as like evil, so that's why I'm kind of sticking within the neutral category.
yeah, but you see the best in everyone, my friend. Therefore, is the problem. You have the exact opposite problem that Dragon Turtle has. Dragon Turtle has the catastrophization problem, where he expects literally everyone he sees to do some horrible thing that's going to result in the doom of the universe. As though that's why half the time he walks around as though the world is already doomed.
Oh, this is interesting. I want to do this one. Chrono.K for Dalton. He said, please, Dalton is not evil. I snorted at that comment. And I kind of agree. I don't see you as evil either.
I lean that way. Like I say, I'm lawful neutral leaning in the direction of lawful evil.
I just don't see the evil. Like I said, you always strike me as like a neutral person. I just don't see the evil in you. Like I just don't. I see you as like neutral, but I just don't see any evil.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if that means because there are a few options there.
All right.
There's option one, which is I didn't realize I was that good at hiding it. There's option two, I'm just around people who aren't good at seeing it. Or there's option three, I might just not have much, which I find that to be the least likely option. The two most likely options are I am better at hiding it or more subtle than I thought because I'm not shy about it at all. Or y'all just see the best in me come hell or high water. And while that is adorable as sin, it's not accurate.
Dalton, I've been with you through like quite a bit. I just it's not that I'm not saying that you don't have like an edge to you. I just don't see you as evil. Like that with me holds like a particular that to me holds like a particular connotation and like
you
degree
come
of
up through
requirement.
SJWs, so you're confused as to why anything else is evil.
Not like not
That's
at all.
the thing.
Okay, I disagree with that. Like, I come from quote unquote SJW roots or whatever. But
No. What I mean is that once you've been exposed to pure evil, it becomes hard to compare small amounts of evil you might find elsewhere.
all right, so like that's fair because I have seen my share of like really horrible shit disguised as doing it for the right reason. Like,
I mean, we opened this by talking about Hannibal the frickin' Victor while we were still off screen, so yeah.
I like even still, maybe it is option 3 with me that you have it in such small doses, but like I don't know, like your okay, I'll give you an example, right? Like your commitment to want to help Brainstormer, like that's just not something I see from somebody who like has those particular set, like who has like that particular mentality. Like, not to say that you can't be evil and do good or nice things for people. Obviously you can.
Yeah.
But like your attitude and behaviors have always struck me as someone who is more neutral. I would say morally gray than outright evil. That's basically what I think is probably more accurate.
Well, it's the problem with D&D's alignment system. For as great as the actual labels of the alignment system are, the actual like criteria behind each one in the actual setting are kind of silly and sometimes counterintuitive.
Pretty much. Like, I guess my best description of you is morally gray. That's what I think your best. That's like if you can alter it a little. If neutral means morally gray, that's where I would say. Like you're morally gray, maybe a very dark morally gray at times, but I see you as morally gray.
Yeah, because to me, like true neutral would be just a Buddhist who does or maybe a Janus would be a better fit of someone who just does their best to not have any impact on the world whatsoever and just continues through their life without
Yeah, I wouldn't
making
call you.
any impression on it. That to me is what the true neutral is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're true neutral. I think Brainstormer is neutral good, but I don't think you're true neutral. Even though Brainstorm's like, I'm not neutral good, guys.
I was just giving an example of how the like D&D definitions of these alignments really need an overhaul by
I
someone
agree.
who actually knows about philosophy.
To be fair,
Anyway,
so capable of doing.
Alright, I just want to say one thing. Like, I imagine Brainstorm is like, I'm not neutral good, guys. I have a leather jacket.
I actually did once. I actually did.
all that changes is you being chaotic good now.
I
Yeah.
have a leather jacket.
Yeah, I actually.
Which, to be fair, I could see Brainstormer as chaotic good because he's not unwilling to throw down when shit hits the fan.
Alright, what were you going to say, Brainstormer?
I did have a leather jacket at one point.
Oh my god.
You
Well,
need to get a new one. You need to get a new one. Is what needs to happen.
It was more of a winter coat that had leather on it.
I can't believe I didn't think of that for this year. I can't believe I did not think of a leather jacket for you this year.
Did you get him a pea coat?
I did not.
And I'm actually trying to get one still. I haven't had
Okay,
time.
well, in a year or so, next Christmas, I'm getting you a new leather jacket. At least. And obviously, that's not the only thing I'm going to get you now that I've spoiled that. That's at least one thing I'm going to get you.
I said I used to, like back in middle school.
Yes, and you shall have a new one in about a year.
Fantastic.
Obviously, I will need sizes and things.
Now, just when it gets time, ask me, I guess.
Anyway, moving on to the actual point of the segment.
Yeah, Marvel Studios Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 official trailer.
Banana.
One sec. Yeah, I got none, so banana.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next,
Oh, Marvel.
the galaxy still needs its guardians. Hello, we come in peace.
I preferred her as a villain.
Okay, here's my big problem with this, and it's going to be for races throughout the trailer, so I might as well get it through first. Where is all the Guardians' distinctive color? The thing that made them stand out once upon a not so long ago?
Why do they have these ugly blue, like, jumpsuits now?
Well, okay, but
No, that's
just in the cinematography in general, it's like everything is darker now, and I don't want.
Oh, what did you say? What did you say, Brainstormer?
Well, the costumes were from the comics, I believe. So.
Okay, but that's again, it's less of their specific costume designs and more the entire universe they are now existing in is less vibrant and less colorful, and I hate it.
That could be just the setting of where they're in, which is like a very suburban place. So.
Well, I've watched this entire trailer through, and the cinematography remains relatively consistent. So,
I mean, here's my thing, right? It's like, I don't know. The entire MCU feels like it's moving towards this. Like, you saw it a lot in the Eternals. Like, that was so completely saturated in dark colors.
But then you had Love and Thunder going so far off in the opposite direction that it hurt.
What were you going to say, Brainstormer?
Well, I was going to mention that I actually tried to rewrite the Eternals when it first came out.
Oh, that's a task right there.
Don't do it. Don't hurt yourself.
No, the problem actually is that there were too many ways I could have gone with it. Because actually I did the research of the Eternals. Really interesting fucking thing. like concept and like a lot of characters, a lot of cool stuff. I just didn't know which way to take it.
In the
And
movie,
now for the I told you so.
and the movie is like so fucking awful. Like there's this villain, right? His name is Crow.
Dude,
So
yeah, he's in the comics. He's so much cooler in the comics. One thing, he and Athena have a forbidden Romeo and Juliet like romance.
is that why they had him try and like kill? Is that why they had him try and kill Athena in the movie?
I don't even want to
It's
speculate
more
about what they were trying to do there.
how they turn the deviants into basically animals, because
Yeah.
they're basically just they are basically just Eternals. That they did so many weird decisions on that.
There are Eternals whose X genes got switched on, basically, so they look weird.
Yeah.
So like, it's funny because it's like when you see them in the movie, they're basically just janitor animal things, and then the animal things got out of control, so they made the Eternal robots, which kill the animal. Like this is the stupidest thing to describe this to a normal person. Okay.
Or an Eternal fan. But in any case, we're focusing on the mistake being made by Guardians at the moment, which is
Alright.
the thing that I enjoyed the most out of Guardians was the color and the fun and the actually being willing to go full comic book.
And now it's like this.
And now Guardians 3 took all three of my favorite things about Guardians and was like, yeah, well, it's funny you should mention that because James Gunn got depressed after getting fired, so now everything is bleak and terrible.
Maybe he wants it to be really serious now.
No, he does. He does. That's the justification. I just don't think he knows. Like, he should know by now on which side his bread is buttered, as they say. Like,
Wait. Well, no, it's just like it's weird. That's a weird thing you said, Corrupt, because to me they've always had this kind of seriousness to them, with the charm and wit that they have.
But it was in a hyper-colored world, is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really found the Guardians to be like terribly serious. I always found it to be kind of jokey in a charming way, but I don't know.
But in any case, my point is, you could have made it extra serious and still have it be this. I mean, that's one good thing that John Wick is very good at. Despite that it is a very serious action franchise, John Wick is always very stylized, very colorful, very vibrant. Even in places that should, by rights, just be straight up dark, it's always, otherworldly purples, otherworldly oranges and reds and greens, and that's just guy going shooting and so on. Like I know I'm being comedically flippant there, but you know what I'm saying. These guys can bebop all around the universe, and they have an established pattern of bebopping around to places in the universe that are too weird for all the normies. And now James Gunn got a bug up his ass and wanted to be a serious filmmaker all of a fucking sudden. So now instead of getting the really crazy, awesome Guardians movie we should have gotten that would have put even Suicide Squad 2 to shame for its comic bookiness, now we get this, which... bleh.
I think, hello, Ahsoka Tano Gaming, good to see you. I think it's a lemur girl. Not entirely sure.
So, and basically the idea is like it's a parody. It's like kind of a subversion parody thing. Like, what if humans came to a planet of aliens that lived like we do? Isn't this silly?
I don't think.
No, it's the High Evolutionary.
Okay.
It's him doing his Dr. Moreau thing.
All right. No, I mean, even if you were to say that, I think you still can get that because, like, think about it, right? Like, aliens always visit humans. What if humans visited aliens? I think you can I think that's a little bit of that sort of tongue in cheek is in there. But I do agree with the high evolutionary thing. I just think there's a little bit of that
No,
tongue in cheek kind of
I-
element there.
Well, James Gunn has specifically said he wants this movie to be about Rocket and about Rocket confronting his abusive father, who is the High Evolutionary. So, yeah.
I'm not saying that's not the case too. I'm just saying when you look at the planet, okay, look at how they're dressed. Look at how it's basically just modern Earth.
Is it?
I mean,
I didn't
look
see that part.
look at look at more of rewind a little bit and look at more of the look at the background.
You know what? Actually,
That is,
they look more.
it's like it's not look at the houses. Like I live near neighborhoods like this.
Well, no, I was talking about the clothing.
Like some of the clothing do, but like some of them are just suits and jackets and shit. But look at the houses though. They look pretty normal. Like they look like pretty normal houses you see now.
Okay, that's possible, or it might just be a budget thing. I don't want to start building theories off of the holes within the Marvel.
I'm not building.
thing.
I'm not trying to build a theory. I'm just saying I think I think there's a bit of tongue in cheek there with the neighborhood
Right.
that they're landing in.
Fair.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not funny regardless, but I don't know.
I mean, I agree with you. I just think but not all jokes land. You know.
Yeah. I'm just, and that's another aspect of what I'm worrying about with the, you take away the color and the comic bookiness, the things that we love James Gunn for, and you turn it into, I guess, Little House on the Prairie with animal people. And
Nigga said Little House on the Prairie with animal people. That made me laugh.
and while my description of that might be more interesting than what we're getting here is the problem. And thus I'm worried that is this going to be I'm going to make jokes on a protest because Disney fired me for an entire movie. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Like Little House, I can actually see that shit.
Giant Turtle, I would.
It actually does now. It is a thing I want now that I've brought it into existence in my mind. Anyway,
hold on, Giant Turtle. I would say the former instead of the latter. He's asking High Evolutionary is Rocket's father in terms of who uplifted Rocket from an animal, or asking if Rocket is the biological son.
he's the one who Dr. Morrowed him. Dragon Turtle.
Yeah.
Because he evolves things, hence the name. That's what he do. He evolve things.
Banana?
Banana.
Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No.
Don't forget.
See, this music doesn't work with all the black and whatnot around. The
It
black
is
and
really
gold.
serious. This is really not fun. The atmosphere isn't as fun as it used to be.
My problem.
Okay, I don't know how to
Describe it.
Put it into words.
same thing. Well, one thing, I don't really agree with what you said, Corrupt.
It doesn't look as fun as it doesn't really look all that fun.
Before that,
What?
to me, the
the
Guardians movies have always been serious. I don't disagree that
It's serious in what way? Like, what do you mean when you say serious?
Okay,
I
so-
think he means on an emotional and character level because Brainstormer has a hard-on for a character.
But that's not when people say serious. A lot of the times they don't mean like they're not referring to simply character development and growth. They mean in terms of tone.
Brainstormer, we're not being dismissive, we're being descriptive here. Like, the world of Guardians is high concept and colorful and
Right, I'm not
full of jokes and meta.
And it has like a lot of comedic elements to it. That's
right.
not.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Then what are you disagreeing with?
I'm confused.
I'm saying that while the tone has always had a mixture of both serious and comedic.
And again, there I think is where you're talking about the character arc stuff. And again, that's separate from the world itself, and there's where we're having the linguistic issue, I think.
Like when people say tone, they mean like the tone isn't like serious and isn't like overly serious. It's like very for Guardians, it's very comedic and self-referential, and it can be silly at times. That doesn't mean that it's not. That doesn't mean it doesn't have serious moments or
that it doesn't have an emotional core or any of that.
Exactly.
And I get where you're coming from, because so often people do make that mistake of either something can be over the top and goofy, or it can be too taken seriously. But regardless, one of the things that made James Gunn worth paying attention to back in the day was that he could work a serious emotional core into a world that was completely batshit comic booky and was not serious otherwise. Thus, why I'm a little bit annoyed with this, because the seriousness has overtaken everything interesting about the outside world, and now I don't care.
Okay, I get the point. I think I get you guys' point of view now. I didn't think it was properly explained to me. That was the issue I was having.
Yeah. Again, we were having one of those basic bitch philosophy things where we forgot to define our terms for a second.
This is why before I started the conversation, I wanted to know what you meant by serious, because if we don't if we don't understand what each other is saying, then we're just going to go in circles and argue.
Yeah, it's literally three people who speak three different languages trying to talk to each other, and they're getting mad because a word in one person's language happens to be, I don't know, a racial slur in another person's language, and so on. Like for me, never use the word subjectivity to describe anything I think, because I hate subjectivity. I want to kill it. Everyone knows me and knows I hate the very notion of the concept of subjectivity, and I kind of want to kill it. Okay. Because it is way overused by far too many pseudo-intellectual fuckwits, and I have grown a slow but sure hatred for the concept of subjectivity, because it is a pseudo-intellectual get out of rational thought free card.
Okay.
He looks so sad in this scene, like his puppy just died.
Like, everyone's being requested to do Kevin Costner from Man of Steel right now. Is what's.
I don't know. I'm like, Black Adam just blackpilled me so hard on fucking DC movies. Like, holy shit.
You didn't like Black Adam?
I liked some of Black Adam, but like, some of it was like, holy shit, this is like dark for no reason sometimes. But yeah, I like some of Black Adam. I did like some of it. I thought it was a good movie.
I really wish we could have gotten a Dr. Fate origin movie out of it, at least. If not.
So my favorite characters were Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and like Black Hawkman. I really like those three characters. The Rock was like
He was there.
The Rock, yeah, he was there. He was just, I'm sad and like his only real emotional range was sad and brooding to angry and extreme. Like that. I mean, that's pretty much it.
I mean,
It's-
that's fair, and for obvious reasons, I was able to look past that and geek out about we finally got a semi-decent Doctor Fate in the movie.
Yeah,
But-
Doctor Fate was fucking great. I like Doctor Fate.
Yeah. Yeah, I dug it. Honestly, the music really kind of got me a lot.
What?
Like, I dug-
Black
I dug the-
Adam.
Yeah, I dug the music for Black Adam.
I dug the music too.
I didn't remember much of the music. I mean, it wasn't like bad choices or anything. I just didn't remember much of the music. I was too focused on Kent playing "You Fight Nice Children" when Black Adam and
All right.
Hawkman went at it.
Dalton. I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna stream Hogwarts Legacy and make a character based on you. There you go.
I'm not sure if I should be insulted that you would put me in the Harry Potter universe. How dare you, sir?
Anyway, we actually do have another trailer, so we should probably go through this
All
one.
right.
So yeah, but Banana, for the love of God.
All right.
Forget. Where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives. Pete,
I'm done running.
And see, go ahead.
I
You
was
go
just gonna say, I agree with like the coloring feels off, and also I don't know. It's just like something feels off about this whole thing. I can't really.
It does. Yeah, it
And
feels.
I get what he's going for because it's supposed to be the end of a trilogy. It's supposed to be the last movie he does for Marvel. It's supposed to be about Rocket, who's a fairly dark character, especially if they want to go as dark as I think they want to go. So, let's, fair enough. But you were able to do all of that with Peter in the second movie, still while being surrounded by Ego's, visual porn. So, like, this, you didn't have to. You've always been good at keeping the aesthetic nice and engaging and comic booky and colorful while still keeping the core of the theme going. So, like, why not? Yes. That's my question to James Gunn. Like, why now did the seriousness of the theme have to, or character arc have to cross over into the aesthetic when none of the previous times did it have to?
I guess because, like you said, he wants this to be. I guess he wants the tone of the movie and the coloring and everything involved to be as dark as the subject matter. At least that's what I think. I don't know if that's true or not. I just think that's what he's going for.
But that's still a step in the wrong direction because again, Peter dealt with his daddy issues just fine, surrounded by rainbows and wonder and everything.
I mean, I'd be fine with it if they saturated it a bit and added more contrast to give it that darker feeling, but still be colorful.
Yeah, like if this was if you wanted the colors now to be blue and like extremely dark blue and gold, that's like you can work with that, but work with that for the love of God. But
Okay.
in any case, Banana.
Give me a sec. I'm stretching my legs here. Something
Okay.
you don't know about, Dalton.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Your sleepy leg syndrome is temporary. Yes, we know.
That was pretty good. Holy
To be fair,
shit!
he was gonna make the joke. He was gonna make the joke anyway.
It's a running joke between the two of us. Every time he does that, one of us makes that joke.
Yeah, I've been sitting in this chair for like 5 hours, so I need to stretch them.
And again, at least George is temporary.
Yeah. Cry about it later.
Never. Not since I was literally too young to remember.
All right, but yeah, okay. So shall we?
Yeah.
Banana. I've cried about many things, but never that. Anyway.
We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the
Yes, this is the High Evolutionary. I've seen this actor. He's not a bad actor, so I'm
That's
sure.
supposed to. He's another. Is he supposed to be another version of Kang?
No, he's a.
No.
The High Evolutionary is very different. To be
No,
fair,
no. I know. Wait, hold on. I know that the High Evolutionary is different, but like in the scene with
it's not
in the
Jonathan
scene.
Majors.
No,
But
hear me out.
yeah,
Hear me out. Wait. Hear me out.
go ahead.
In the scene where Rocket is recalling being grabbed, I see a white hand, but now I see a black dude. So I'm like, wasn't that supposed to be the High Evolutionary?
Okay, let me go back to that because I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
I'm confused. I didn't see the thing put up, so. But we will solve it.
All right, there we go. And you go back there.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay, is that a white hand or a black hand?
It could be the lighting. I can't really tell because it's very blurred.
Maybe it is a black hand.
I don't know.
Because I know because I know the High Evolutionary is a white dude. So.
Because the skin tones are getting muddied by the
lighting.
Slightly gold filter over everything. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just
anyway,
can't tell.
Put it back and we'll continue.
All right. Okay, let's see. Ahsoka said that is white. I can tell you that looks like my skin color. I'm a tan individual.
Okay. That solves it. Because not all white people can be so pale that people always ask you if you're sick even when you're not. Like I am.
That's pretty sure. You're pale? I didn't know that you were pale.
Yeah, I'm apparently very pale. Unless I get fired up and then all of a sudden my face just goes beet red because of a thing that happened to me when I was a kid.
I actually should probably, when it actually gets warm enough to, I should probably actually go out and get some sun. And oh my god, I haven't been out of the house in like 2 years.
You should start going out on walks more so you'll be tired so you can get your sleep schedule back.
I'm not getting shot. Thank you very much.
Like, I kind of get where he's coming from. Like, if you go down the wrong alley, like, and you by yourself, some nigga will just jump you.
I mean, I don't have that. We've had some instances where people do not like certain people.
Did you get your pepper spray yet?
No.
Do you have a taser?
Nope. I have a hockey stick, a baseball bat, a golf club, a shaman stick, samurai kendo stick.
I've sent you tasers that would be effective for you, so get one.
I'm surprised no one's bringing up the list of things I said I had.
I mean,
well, I knew, and
like, you told me that you live in like the kind of neighborhood that I used to live in, so in.
So I live in a place where me and my uncle, we're affectionately call the White Ghetto.
Oh, so okay, I know where you live.
His house was once condemned at one point.
I hate that I told you that.
Is there like a crack shack in your neighborhood? Is there like a crack house in your neighborhood?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't really interact with anyone anymore. It used to actually be a very. It used to be very different. Let's just say that.
They feared me once.
No,
I
they
put all-
used. Well, no, they used to have block parties when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and everyone moved out.
Alright.
Anyway,
Left the rest of you to fend for yourself.
I'm fucking tired.
yeah, same.
Banana.
Yeah, one sec. Let me get to the tab. Although, again, like I've seen this actor. I can't remember his name. I feel bad because like he's a really good actor.
I recognize him too, but I can't remember his name.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up because it's gonna bug me. But yeah, let's banana while I look it up.
Into the forever and beautiful sky.
Sorry.
Again, what is with the like when he did the We Are Groot the first time, it was colorful everywhere. And now it's almost like showing me the difference so I can point out exactly what's wrong with it. Someone turned down the saturation like 5 different notches in 5 different spectrums here.
Okay, I'm gonna butcher this. I know it, but Chikwudi Iwuji, I think.
What
Okay.
else was he in?
I'm terrible with names, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was in Peacemaker.
Hmm.
He was the butterfly guy.
Not surprised to see him here. Then James Gunn likes to keep a good working relationship with the people he works with.
Again, not a bad actor. I am honestly, he might be the thing I'm most interested about to see.
I was very interested to see Rocket confront the High Evolutionary, and now I'm just thinking, can this movie just not be? Can we just not have this? Because I don't want it anymore.
To be like just this colorless, dry thing.
I was expecting James Gunn's final, Caution to the Wind big finale to be even more fireworks, even more color, even more comic booky obscureness, and frickin' Howard the Duck becomes a member of the Guardians for for fuck's sake, or hell, since they already set up the Ravengers in the last movie to be the Guardians 3000 team, have them come in and team up, and like this is what I was expecting. I was expecting a big, bombastic. Thanks for all the memories. I had an amazing time. Sorry about that whole thing in the middle there with the drama. Let's end this off proper. And instead, I feel bad. I feel alternations between bad and nothing. And the bad I feel is not from actually like feeling depth of bad. It's from loving memories of the Guardians franchise and from Suicide Squad 2, and like this is what we get now. And I know it must be recent for him because he wasn't this black build during Suicide Squad 2. He was much more of a sane, like he was much more upbeat and colorful in Guardians or in Suicide Squad 2 than he was even in Guardians 2. So like he knows what people want from him, he just won't give it for some reason. And I know he has all sorts of nice and pretty and film school sounding rationales for it of like, oh my dark twist, oh my this, oh my that. But again, Peter got the same treatment in the last one, and he got rainbows still. So why no rainbows? Taste the rainbow, James Gunn. You eat, instead of eating Snickers for James Gunn, it's eat all the Skittles. You get bland when you're hungry.
And now we have like just this toned down like whatever Drek, whatever this is, because this seems like Marvel meddling.
I mean, it could very well be, or it could be just that James Gunn is kind of getting blackpilled and doesn't really want to be doing this anymore, which tells me some negative, not so good things for the becoming of the DC by James Gunn.
So I will say this. This looks very much like the Suicide Squad to me. Like the same sort of like dull colors, the same kind of humor. I wonder if he's drifted off into that vein of.
You didn't watch the second one, did you?
That's what I said. The Suicide Squad. That's why I said the Suicide Squad.
Okay. I was gonna say because there really wasn't much dullness in that. That was very.
I mean, the colors. It wasn't really that colorful. I mean, there were colors, but it wasn't like a rainbow.
I mean, it tried a hell of a lot more than the first one did, at least.
It did try to be more true to the comics. I agree with you, but it wasn't like a rainbow of colors. The color palette was still kind of like toned down a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I can sort of see it. So, I maybe. Well, you took the wrong lesson from Suicide Squad 2, James Gunn. The lesson you were supposed to take was go all the comic book.
I will say one thing, like Groot's eyes being this human just disturbed me.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
Like I do not like how human his eyes are. This is fucking terrifying.
I get the idea that he sort of takes influence from people he's raised by, so that does sort of make sense, but yeah, no. Yes, thus banana.
Thus spoketh Groot.
Yes, apparently.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
See, that was the only part of that made me feel like that is something the Guardians would say.
What about when he threw the ball at the little lemur girl?
That just felt mean, honestly. Honestly, like. But the how many people do we kill exchange felt very. And again, this
felt me.
This has to feel. This has to be a recent development though, because I just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and it was still doing full Guardians color palette things. So, what the actual fuck, James?
Okay, I will ask Brainstormer. Okay, Brainstormer, what do you think of like? What do you think? Do you agree with Dalton?
With what? Sorry, I was busy setting up the last trailer.
Do you agree with Dalton about like how it feels like humorless and dull for the most part?
Like the humor's still there, but it's just not much there. Is the thing.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like yes and no. I agree with what I was able to pick up while listening to you guys while I was setting the thing up. I agree with Dalton. Like the last part of that trailer, the last joke, is very much in line with the Guardians films. The other attempt at humor earlier on felt off. Like it It's like one of those things. Like it's a very Marvel thing, like cut off on something serious.
It's the difference between actually being yourself and being forcefully corporate branded yourself, basically.
What what about when he threw the ball at the little girl, Brainstormer? What did you think about that?
I really had no reaction, to be honest.
Really? You had no reaction?
I mean, to be fair, I thought it. Okay, so I'm on the fence about this. I didn't laugh. Okay, that no chuckle or anything, you know.
Yeah.
But I will not lie, that does seem somewhat in character for Drax. This particular version of Drax.
I mean, yeah, that's the one saving grace I can give it, is it makes sense for Drax, but it also kind of felt mean on the movie's part. Like, now if she starts like hulking out and then beats the fuck out of Drax, that would be funny. But like,
He just threw a ball. He just threw like a dodgeball at like a little girl for no reason.
and then the little girl like transforms and beats the crap out of it. That would be funny.
But not when it's just like, oh, he just beat up a little girl for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, it's just so we actually have to end on something fun and a high note. I'm sure we've all heard about this movie, Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah, this movie.
This movie looks like the best movie of next year already.
Yeah, I actually saw this trailer. Like first saw it on in theaters when I went to go see Violent Night.
That's perfect. That's exactly the movie that Cocaine Bear needs to play in front of. Yes.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that I can say is dumb, but the fun kind of dumb.
Is it sad I'm more excited now for Cocaine Bear than I am for Guardians 3? Are we there? I think we might be there.
What? That you're more excited for Cocaine Bear than Guardians 3?
Yes, we have officially arrived in a universe where I am less excited about Guardians 3, the conclusion of one of my favorite trilogies from Marvel, than I am for Cocaine Bear.
I mean, I'm not really surprised that there would be some waning sentiment. Like, Phase 4 in general was just shit. So,
I mean, the only sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, really the only good thing that kind of came out of it was the Werewolf by Night special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night was good, and I genuinely enjoyed Multiverse of Madness, and I thought it was a massive improvement over the first Doctor Strange movie. So,
I mean, there was that. Like, I like the fact that I do like the fact that he harpooned not
Shimagurath.
Thank you, not Shumagorath in the
Oh,
eye.
it was fucking
Gargantos.
Gargantos. Thank you.
So that's who that was?
Which I'm fine with them using him instead of Shuma, because that means they could still use Shuma hypothetically in a third one.
Actually,
and honestly, Shumagorath is a big bad you save to the end, basically.
Actually, because Dome kind of put me on this path, because he talked me into rewriting Doctor Strange.
I mean, yes, I did.
And I also am rewriting Multiverse of Madness. I have Shimagurath as the main antagonist. Well, one of the main antagonists for Multiverse of Madness rewrite.
But in any case, I'd rather them use a being that looks like Shumagorath for a one-off, and then that way Shumagorath doesn't get one-shotted, because I'm of two minds. Because if they had made him Shumagorath, I would have been pissed, because you one-shotted the Eldritch Terror of Doctor Strange's Rogues Gallery.
Oh.
That is not done. But now that they've given themselves the out of he's not Shumagorath, he's Gargantos, that means they can use Shumagorath later and make him an actual threat and an actual villain. So I'll take it.
I also have to say this. I'm not done with it yet, and it's gonna be a while before like I ever post it in the Discord. The rewrite of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I have the Cancerverse actually as a main thing.
Yeah,
Fan-
because that's what happens to a universe. What lets Shuma into it? That's what he do. He is Shuma Gorath is
Where everything is just
existential
one,
cancer.
where everything is just one giant fleshy tumor.
Basically,
Well, a series of giant fleshy tumors in reality, basically.
um, basically where death is killed and eternity is killed as well.
Yeah, and there's no death, so everything is
And
just.
the only power that remains is Shuma Gorath's own, and he comes in and twists everything
Yeah.
into these like
Because,
quasi Cronenbergian
so, sorry.
lumps of flesh.
Yeah. So sorry. This is a little side thing, but Don kind of mentioned to me. Well, he told me about that, and he also, I think he also mentioned what you hate about what they're doing with MCU Doctor Strange is that they're basically making him Reed Richards.
Yes.
And also why you don't like the multiverse thing, give more of the madness. And my kind of thinking on rewriting this is find that balance between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still having the multiversal travel, but I'm just enhancing it by having the main villain be Shuma Gorath and the Cancerverse.
I mean, to be fair, they didn't do a terrible job of balancing in Multiverse of Madness, so it's still okay, but yeah, it could be improved.
The mini
Anyway.
the mini angled one. This is kind of a weird tangent, but the mini angled one looks fucking lame. He just looks like a generic monster. I don't know. I feel like he should look cooler.
Well, they're basically avatars of him. You couldn't ever look at the whole thing, or it would drive you.
Oh, so it's
batshit.
like the Cthulhu. It's like the Eldritch thing where you can't look at one.
Yeah, they're basically they're Marvel's equivalent of the Eldritch monsters, right?
Yeah, they're off-brand Lovecraft. I think Shuma Gorath is supposed to be the equivalent of the Sleeper in Lovecraft's mythos. Anyway, banana. Or actually, no. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. God damn it, cocaine.
Cocaine bear.
Funny enough, this is actually supposed to be based on real events, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Which surprises the fuck out of me. Although, reality is often more stranger than fiction.
Yeah, stranger than fiction, my friend. It's a mad, mad, mad world, and we're all mad here.
Anyway, cocaine?
Cocaine.
Something I'm sure you love, Corrupt.
Hey, cocaine banana would be better, though.
Okay, so how does that work then? I'm sorry, like my mind just went. Is that a banana made of cocaine, or is it a banana dipped in cocaine?
What if it's a banana dipped in cocaine? What's
Yeah,
up?
Take a sausage casing, fill it with cocaine, shape it as a banana. There.
Yes.
That sounds wrong.
I mean, we're already several layers deep into wrong. We might as well do wrong correctly.
Anyway, shall we?
Yes.
Cocaine.
Okay, yes, it does have English set. Okay.
Betty!
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
I love the blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely an R-rated film.
Yeah, you don't give cocaine to a bear and expect sane things to happen.
For the record, I'm out. If this scenario actually happens where I'm at, I'm out. I'm fucking out.
Yeah, you got to. Can't bears outrun cars though?
I I don't know. I know normally they're too skittish to approach human civilization under normal circumstances.
Well,
So
actually, I live in a city, so there shouldn't be any bears where I'm at. That should be good.
you come home one day and there's a cocaine bear sitting there, like a bear that's finishing a thing of
Oh,
cocaine.
y'all two are fucked, if I remember correctly.
Like,
Because this seems more plausible for you two. than for me.
okay, I live in the suburbs, so I should be okay-ish. Dalton lives out in the middle of nowhere, though. Dalton's fucked. I'm sorry, Dalton.
We did used to have a bear in our cornfield, or rather our neighbor's cornfield, that he would let us use sometimes.
It'll be answered because they asked how the bear got cocaine. It'll be answered in the trailer, so I don't want to really say anything just yet.
So cocaine?
Cocaine.
Beth, we should
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it.
That's actually a pretty star-studded cast. I just realized.
Yeah.
Huh. Also, just seems like fun.
This
you
was
know, like-
this was also brought to you by the chick who made Birds of Prey.
Seriously?
Why
Yep.
did you have to ruin it? Why?
Like, so
Okay,
I,
this makes me question: why the fuck did we get that monstrosity?
I do not know, but maybe this is her way of apologizing for giving the world that abomination.
I mean, we could do, but no. This is the first black. This is the first black cloud over the idea of cocaine bear.
All right,
But my life has become inexorably worse by knowing that information now. Fuck you, corrupt.
I am the spirit that corrupts. See that?
Yeah, it's so weird because I never would have known that had you not told me.
I found that out. I found that I forgot how I found that out, but I looked at I was watching a stream and they were talking about it. And they were talking about the woman who made Birds of Prey made fucking Cocaine Bear.
I mean, New Year's are times for redemption, I suppose. I'm gonna need to see a lot of fun happen in this movie to make up for the soul-sucking 2.5 fucking hours of that.
Oh, you know what pisses me off the most about Birds of Prey?
What's
I've
that?
said it many times. The mishandling of Cassandra Cain.
I thought it was the fact that we only get to see Black Mask wear his mask once and then he gets blown up.
I mean, that is
No, I think that was one of mine. Although I have many problems with that movie.
Yeah, no, it's one of my, but that is one of my major problems with the movie is Cassandra Cain. They basically made her Stephanie Brown.
Yeah, they did.
Like, what the, dude? I looked up Cassandra Cain when I was doing the rewrite for that one. For that, it always bugs the shit out of me how they mishandle characters that are actually super fucking interesting in adaptation.
Yes, they do. And this is why I always say I told you so when you find this information out.
Like, even on its own, that without the knowledge I had prior, it was still a terrible fucking movie.
Yep, no, it's bad. It's just objectively bad in every conceivable metric, and only ideological feminists or extremely basic bitches would like it conceivably at all.
Like, there's a reason why that movie bombed, because it was trash.
Also, the title didn't really help it, I think. The original,
Harley Quinn, what is it? The Emancipation of One Harley Quinzel and the Birds.
yeah, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
They obviously just wanted to make it a Harley movie, so why didn't they just call it Harley Quinn Emancipation?
I guess because they also wanted to do something with the Birds of Prey.
Well, they could have basically been like Black Adam wasn't called Black Adam versus the Justice Society. It probably should have been, but it wasn't. And the Justice Society honestly have more screen time than Black Adam does. So like
Yeah, they should have just made 2 movies. They should have made a Black Adam movie and a Justice Society movie.
or hell, make this the Justice Society movie and make this like their first time. I mean, hell, they even go so far as to say that this is their first time out and have Black Adam be what they're fighting.
Right.
And completely edit out Sabak entirely because that's useless.
Right.
And keep Kenta fucking alive for a while.
Dragon Turtle. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, Dragon Turtle said something interesting. It could be that during Birds of Prey, she was under pressure to make a feminist movie.
I mean, it's possible, but she seems pretty dyed-in-the-wool ideologically feminist herself. And now I'm scared.
Anyway, shall we?
Alright. Banana shake.
Yes, cocaine.
Dear maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it. No, don't eat that, don't eat that.
Is that Ray
What kind
Liotta?
of effect that has on
It might be.
The bear. It fucking did cocaine.
Yeah, like I said, this is a pretty star-studded cast.
Is that really Ray Liotta? I thought he was dead.
The cop guy?
Yeah, well, the dude who's saying, you gave the bear cocaine or something. The dude they're talking to.
Wasn't he also in Goodfellas?
Yes, he was.
Oh, that guy. I thought you were talking about,
No, the guy from Goodfellas, yeah, Ray Liotta.
Okay. I've seen him in a few things, but I thought he was alive, just retired.
In any case, it's nice to see him again here. So
Ahsoka is freaking out over this story. She's like, how did this happen? Did it happen in Florida?
How is Hollywood struggling so hard to figure out what people want when it's very obvious that sometimes all you need to do is go as bonkers as you need to and completely commit to the bit. Like that's what people want. They want you to go as bonkers as you need to and then to just completely commit to the bit. Cocaine Bear. Sometimes it's all you need. Violent Night, sometimes it's all you need. John Wick, sometimes it's all you need. Like these are very simple things, and yet somehow Hollywood is slowly dying still. Give people what they want, and they will come.
Okay, so I'm looking up when this actually happened. Like the actual cocaine thing. Okay, so nearly 40 years ago, 175-pound black bear found and ingested cocaine in a Georgia forest.
Oh, it happened around here.
As reliably crazy as Florida man might be, don't let Georgia man off the hook here, Your Honor.
Well, you know what? We're not that far from Florida, so I get it.
That was part of the joke, yes.
Yeah, so apparently it did. It just I don't think it's going on the rampage that's shown here, obviously.
I would fucking hope not.
Apparently, it was found dead in the Chattahoochee National Forest after overdosing.
Oh, that's sad.
So there's apparently a bear, right? That goes into so apparently there's a bear that goes into a convenience store every day and like takes like candy bars and then leaves. Like this is the craziest fucking story I've ever heard in my life.
I've seen the video. Have you ever seen the video where the tiger goes into a convenience store?
There's a tiger that goes into a convenience store.
I think it's in India or something.
That's amazing.
I could be
And
wrong.
everyone's just like quietly walking by while the tiger does its thing.
Oh no!
Although all that talk of bears going to convenience stores reminds me of the bear from Over the Hedge that really fucking loves totally not Pringles but Pringles.
Yeah, it was in the 1980s.
Oh my god, Pringles are fucking.
Yeah.
The brainstormer.
Huh?
Pringles, yay or nay?
I mean, I like the pizza ones, but it's been like a few years since I've had any.
Fair enough. What about you, Dalton? Do you like Pringles?
I like Pringles.
I will say the thing I do hate about Pringles is every time I get them, like when my family buys a canister, I end up eating like half of them.
Like they're just so like addictive. Like once you eat one,
yeah,
you have to eat the other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm buying this tube. I fully expect to eat this entire tube. Is basically what needs to happen.
Yeah, like they're just there's something about them. Like when you eat one, God, you gotta eat like 5 more.
Like I say, I am buying this canister. I will take this canister home. I will probably spend the next hour shoving it into my face, and then there will be no more Pringles.
Yeah,
this will probably happen.
Anyway, shall we?
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Okay.
There.
A bear did cocaine.
There was a bear.
A bear?
It was far.
Hey,
That's inappropriate.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
Of course they can.
I mean, to be fair, that would be like, I'm sure all of us would be freaking the fuck out.
Oh yeah, because there's no way you can actually get away from a bear if it's after you, right? Because they can climb trees and they
Run
can.
downhill.
I thought they could outrun you.
Yeah, they can outrun people. Like they're fast fucking things, man.
Right, but run downhill because their legs will trip them up. Their legs are too short, and they get their center of gravity gets off when they're running downhill. So just run downhill.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
This was something we all should have learned from that one episode of American Dragon Jake Long. But yes, I went and later verified it. Yes, that is a thing you can do with bears.
That I'm never going to the fucking woods.
So I refuse to. That's fucking terrifying.
Also, I just don't go in the woods for like basic horror movie rules.
I mean, I'm black and you're Hispanic. We're like the first people that die in horror movies.
I have seen The Wrong Turn and The Hills Have Eyes. No.
And because if I didn't point this out, I would feel like chopped liver. Bitches, you both have a wizard on speed dial. You guys are the odd ones that are gonna make it out alive.
Okay, but depends on the horror movie scenario because not all of it is supernatural.
This is true.
So, like
even so, having your phone with you in a wrong turn scenario would be a good thing. So, something to keep in mind.
Oh.
Plus, I'm far enough away from you that if I send people looking for you, they're probably going to find you somewhere. Because if people all, from Pennsylvania to Indiana to wherever the fuck Corrupt is from are all looking for you, you're gonna be found somehow. Your only obstacle at that point is to survive.
Has anyone here seen Wrong Turn?
Yes, I've seen Wrong Turn, but I know there's like a franchise. There's like a series of the Wrong Turn 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. No.
Who has seen VHS?
I have seen VHS.
I have heard of it.
Have you seen Rec? REC. Or Quarantine, as I guess the American version of it is.
I know about that one. I've seen like
Rec, I may have seen.
Alright. Like, and so Brainstormer in VHS, there's VHS is a series of anthologies, right?
Yeah.
So there's one about a succubus that's at a party, and they go and they like a bunch of guys bring like a bunch of chicks with them back to their hotel, right? And one of the chicks gets really drunk, so the dudes are like, "Well, you can't, like do anything because she's drunk and shit." And he's like, "Okay." So they're all like, so one dude goes to the bathroom, and the other dudes are making out with the other chicks, because they're both drunk and shit. And the other chick is who's is passed out on the bed next to like this succubus who eats the other fucking guys. And then like leaves the chicks alive because she's a succubus, obviously. So the dude runs out of the hotel room, and it's just like this series of him trying to get away from this succubus until he falls down the stairs, breaks his ankle, literally the bones jutting out, and then the succubus like picks him up and flies away.
I forgot about that.
That is like, it's an experience. These movies are an experience, Brainstormer. Yes, she physically consumes their flesh. Even though technically as a succubus she wouldn't physically eat them, but like it's a horror movie and they want,
and also maybe this particular one just likes the extra dick move.
Exactly,
basically.
yeah. What's funny though, here's the funny thing about it. She actually liked him, and she only got angry when he was afraid of her. It's like, bitch, you just ate his friends.
There appears to be some communication problems on your end, my dear. This is not on him.
Also, anyone remember Monster House? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, no. Kidding me? If you don't know what Monster House is,
I remember Monster House, but I've never seen it. I feel like
if you don't know what Monster House is, then get thee to a streaming service now, basically, to watch it.
Also, I finally had sushi. I don't know how I feel about it, but I did finally eat sushi.
What kind?
It was a fried birthday roll. I think it was called birthday cake, and it was a fried roll.
I don't think I've ever had that.
So it was fried. Okay, so I don't know how to feel about. On one hand, I liked it, but on the other hand, it was such an alien taste in my mouth. I don't know how do you describe sushi to somebody? Like I don't know how to describe it. It's like it tasted good. It was good, but like.
But I'm confused that the thing I put in my mouth released those flavors, and now I'm confused.
Yeah, it released flavors that I don't understand, so I'm really confused about it.
Yeah, that's a perfectly understandable first-time sushi experience. Like,
closest I've had to sushi is like shrimp, like a cooked shrimp at a Korean place.
Oh, I've had a lot of. In fact, I completely binge on shrimp on like Christmas Eve and Christmas. That's one of my Christmas things. Every year, my mom gets me one of those big like cocktail shrimp things, and then I wait like all night for it to thaw, and then usually around like 8 or 9, it's finally thawed. So I just like binge on the entire platter. This last year, it didn't want to thaw for some reason, and then I was busy doing other stuff, and then things happened. So I ended up having it for a midnight snack on Christmas itself. It was very good.
Hmm.
Did that while watching Black Adam, actually, which cocktail shrimp and Black Adam, not a combo I knew I needed in my life, but it is a thing I now need in my life more of.
Anyway, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes,
Cocaine.
cocaine.
Oh shit! It kind of seems like the thing that stays with the man forever.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is a fun movie. What's crazy to me is the fact that we're getting Cocaine Bear. Like in an era where like you just don't expect these types of movies anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
And I think that's why it's so appreciated is because you just don't make them anymore. So it's like, and also everything else is also going to shit slowly but surely. So it's like, finally one dying ember of light in the sea of just
mediocrity and shit.
Mediocre darkness. Like seriously.
Yeah.
You know, like what is it? A fucking like I know Willow wasn't a great movie, but like the TV show just oh my god. Like that
It hurt me. It hurt everything in me.
Like that show makes me think that fantasy as a genre on television is dead for like a good
Well, I
while.
mean, if that didn't do it for you, and
fucking Witcher Blood Origin, ugh.
Yeah, Rings of Power didn't do it for you, then Witcher Blood Origin certainly would.
I mean, that's just like, oh my god, it's just like I love fantasy. That's my genre. But
every genre is slowly but surely getting befucked.
I don't know if I recommended this to you before, Truck, but there is a show and also a book series called the Shannara Chronicles. Shannara Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's like fantasy set after a post-apocalyptic Earth, where magic comes back. Yeah, where magic starts coming back and stuff.
It's basically under the premise that magic was always there. It's just that like humans' own ego and or technology getting in the way prevented people from seeing it. And now that civilization is done and dusted, magic is basically the only thing human beings have to survive again, just like it was in the old days. So magic it is.
And again, I would. There was a MTV made a adaptation of it, and it's actually how I learned about the books. And I think it's a good show at least.
Yeah, the show wasn't half bad. Anyway, or cocaine.
Right. Cocaine.
Apex Predator. High on cocaine. Out of its mind. Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear? Shoot it, man!
The only thing that would make this funnier is if there was like if we could hear what the bear was thinking. Like I almost want to hear what this bear is thinking.
Like to know why it's just going crazy and just killing people and shit.
No, I know why it's going crazy. It likes cocaine. It wants more cocaine. Like this is not hard to figure out. But I want to sort of hear sort of the derpy, normal bear going about its day, doing bear things, and then all of a sudden it's like, what is this white powdery stuff? Sniff, sniff, lick. What? Sniff, sniff, lick again. What the fuck?
Basically that one Johnny Depp movie where like he's a guy super high and stuff.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Kind of. Anyway, more comedic, obviously, but kind of. Anyway, Cocaine.
Oh my god! He jumped into the fucking ambulance!
That is like the most terrifying thing.
Bears are fucking horrifying. Like, that's why I never want to encounter one, because because outside of the running downhill thing, there's really no way to get away from one. Because they're too fast, you can't really fight them, and
In truth, they're also genuinely hard to piss off, though. So, like, you'd be fine if you're just like watching from a distance or whatever the fuck. Like, I have seen many bears in real life. They have been things in my life, and in truth, they are mostly just fine, and they don't bother you as long as you don't bother them, kind of thing.
it's fine, basically, right?
Like,
Hello?
the bear is just slumbering around. Like,
Oh, fucking hell.
I just want a thing to snack. Can we do this?
I can't hear anything. Hold on.
Can he not hear me? Oh crap! On a
There we go.
I have returned.
Holy shit, that was fucking annoying. So I love my new computer, I really do, but it has this issue where like it sometimes defaults to my wireless controller.
Wait, hello? Can you guys hear me?
I
Yes,
can hear you.
we can all hear you fine. You were not the problem.
I can hear you, Stormer of Pop Culture. There we go.
Anyway, back to the cocaine bearing.
Oh my god, there's a movie that you both should watch called Day Shift. It's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, we
think I've
covered
seen
a trailer. We covered a trailer for it.
Oh,
I think I've seen it.
it's so good. Like it has like it's basically the old buddy cop with the movies from like the 90s with like a vampire twist. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
The nerdy white guy becomes like a vampire and gets his head cut off, and then he puts his head back on. It's the funniest fucking shit.
Anyway, shall we continue to cocaine?
Yes.
I already closed the tab. There's only like 10 seconds left, so.
Okay, never mind then. We should therefore call it there.
I don't know why I'm so I don't know why I'm so fucking tired. It's only like it's 11:48. That explains why I'm so fucking tired.
Yeah, I've been up pretty early on, so. But,
you know what sucks? I have so much to do too.
Again, I want to say like Cocaine Bear looks like a really fun movie, and I can't wait to see that.
It does. It's a very simple, very straightforward, very sincere movie, and sometimes that is not only all you need, Hollywood, but that's what we've been asking for. Like all the time, that's just what we've been asking for. We don't care what you do as long as you are sincere about it, and take full advantage of your premises. It's just don't fucking instrumentalize every goddamn thing under the sun where, oh, it's all about my implications and my themes and my cultural impact for fucking hell. So, like, just view art as as an end in and of itself rather than a means to everything under the sun.
Right.
So that's the lesson here.
And
Cocaine Bear is sincere and good and takes full advantage of its premise. Be like Cocaine Bear.
I still can't believe it was made by the director of Birds of Prey.
Nor can I. That kind of disappoints me, but hopefully she's trying. Hopefully this is her redemption. Hopefully she's trying to redeem herself and make this.
This of all things is her come to Jesus moment.
So
Fucking Cocaine Bear.
Doesn't necessarily disappoint me, it just surprises me, you know.
It worries me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but if even she can't make this work, then she will never work in Hollywood again, because this looks like it worked.
Yeah, so with that, folks, I want to say goodbye, adios, aloha, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, peace, cheers, and
fuck off for the first of the new year.
Good